Hello there, and welcome back into the course in which we're going to go ahead and use ChatGPT to brainstorm YouTube channel topics. Now, because I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, we're going to actually create a channel about the Lord of the Rings. And we're actually not going to name it the Nerds of the Rings, but we're going to name it something that rhymes with the topic of the Lord of the Rings. Now, this channel here, Nerd of the Rings, if you go inside, this channel has 1 million subscribers at this particular point. I hope there is no video that's going to start playing. Okay, so there is no video, but the thing here is, as you can see, it's 1 million subscribers of people that are actually watching the Lord of the Rings. And these videos, I can show you how you can utilize AI to create these faceless videos, as well as how you can use voiceover AI and AI tools, which I'm quite a master of, to create a video, an entire video. We're going to make it a 5-minute video, but you can apply the same strategy to actually create these videos that they have here, which are basically 10-minute, 12-minute videos. So you're about to have a treat. Now, in this particular lecture, first thing is first, what we're going to do, we're going to ask ChatGPT to brainstorm YouTube channel names, possible YouTube channel names for the subject of our YouTube channel. Now, your YouTube channel doesn't have to be a Lord of the Rings related channel. But if you want, you can go and create something about the Lord of the Rings if you want, okay? Now, we'll guide you through the entire process from creating the channel to setting up the channel to creating your first video, which is the short. And then we'll create the second video, which is the big video, the YouTube normal standard video. And we're going to walk you through all of that stuff. But as of now, I want you to go to ChatGPT, to which you will find a link to in the resources of this lecture. It will take you to ChatGPT. Once you are there, you can use either GPT 3.5 or GPT-4. Now, GPT-4 is far more advanced, and it gives you access to image creation with DALL-E 3. It also gives you access to browse the web with Bing, which is a feature that ChatGPT didn't have before having it on the version of ChatGPT 4. Now ChatGPT can browse the web. I've been aware of this for 4 months now, and it can browse the web using Bing and not Google, because Google is actually a competitor of ChatGPT because they have Google Bard, and recently they have released Gemini AI. So, and also GPT-4 gives you access to advanced data analyses, and you have other features as well, such as you've been able to import any kind of file, whether that be an Excel spreadsheet or an image. Whatever type of file you have, you can upload it into ChatGPT and it will know what it is, and you can ask a question regarding that file. Plus, GPT-4 gives you access to plugins, which is a tremendous feature, which gives you access to most of the big websites that you know, such as Canva. You can use it to access Google Sheets. You can use it to access Spotify, to create diagrams, to create videos from just a prompt, to book a trip for you on trip.com, to create a voiceover, to solve complex math equations, to book a restaurant, I would say, seat in using Instacart, or not Instacart, but Kayak and Expedia. And you can also use Instacart to order recipes for food. And the list goes on. If you go to the plugin store, there's just a lot of plugins. If you click on all plugins, you'll find there's a list of 131 plugins at the moment. And in total, in every page, there's 8 plugins. So you can notice that there's more than 1,200 plugins at this particular point that we're talking. And these are big companies that are extending their plugins into ChatGPT. But without that break, if you go to GPT 3.5 right here, you should be able to do the job. If you don't have GPT-4, trust me, I have some workarounds for you, so don't worry. We're going to use Leonardo AI to generate the art that we're going to need. But apart from that, I'm also going to be showing you that DALL-E 3 can be able to do exceptional stuff. And you'll see more of that in the course. But now, let's go ahead, and for a final thing, for people that have access to GPT-4, if you'd like to enable the advanced data analyses and plugins, you have to click here on your name, and then here, click on Settings and Beta, and then here, click on Beta Features and Activate Plugins. Now, the other data controls, such as browsing and data analyses, are activated by default. And besides that, GPT-4 also gives you access to create GPTs. So if I go, for instance, here to click Explore, I've already created 2 GPTs. I'm waiting for the GPT store, to be honest with you, because that's, I think, where the money is at. Now this, don't be fooled, this is not the GPT store, this is just the APRM community. And one more thing, if you'd like to make the most of ChatGPT, use this plugin or this extension called APRM, which you'll be able to download for free, but just make sure it's the right extension, APRM, AIPRM for ChatGPT, and it should have at least at this moment 1 million downloads. If it is less than that, then that's a scam, and that's maybe an extension that they're trying to spy on your computer, or it might have some malware. But without that further ado, let's go ahead and create the name for our brand. So this is how the prompt is going to be. I'm going to say, I am in the process of creating a faceless YouTube channel about the Lord of the Rings. And I want you to create names, or to suggest, that would be better, to suggest possible names for the channel, right? Like the Nerd of the Rings. Now, it's better to give it all the details, like the Nerd of the Rings. I'm going to say suggest at least 10 names, and then we will find the one that we like the best, and we'll go with it. So here it suggested Middle-earth mysteries, ringside tales, hobbit lore hub, elvish enigmas, Gandalf's chronicles, Shire storyteller, orcs and artifacts, fellowship fanfare, Tolkien's treasures, Arda archives. Now, I would say Middle-earth mysteries is great, but I would go with Gandalf's chronicles just because I like Gandalf. And so let's go with Gandalf's chronicles. So now that we've gone with Gandalf's chronicles, in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how we can go ahead and generate a logo for our brand using most of the tools that you know. For those of you that don't have access to any pro elements, I'm going to show you how you can use Leonardo AI, which you can use for free. It gives access to 150 credits, which should be enough for you to generate your logo. And as far as people that have access to Midjourney or GPT-4, I'm also going to show you how you can use these tools to create a logo for our YouTube channel. See you in the next lecture. Hello there, and welcome back in this lecture. Now in this lecture, we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask ChatGPT to basically design the logo for us. But there's one more thing I wanted to tell you about ChatGPT, is that you can ask it any question. So for instance, let's say I chose the name, and then basically I can paste in the name, and I can say, and I want you to suggest 10 different topics to create YouTube shorts and videos about. And now it's going to proceed based on this particular choice. It's going to give us suggestions to create YouTube shorts and videos. So for instance, this is an example of a video we can create exploring Gandalf's origins, delve into Gandalf's background, including his origin as a Maya and his arrival in Middle-earth, Gandalf's greatest battles, the many names of Gandalf, Mithrandir, Tharkun, Gandalf's relationship with key characters, explore Gandalf's interactions, and so on and so forth, behind the scenes, Gandalf's wisdom, the evolution of Gandalf, magical artifacts in Gandalf, Gandalf's journey through Middle-earth, Gandalf's impact on pop culture. So you can see ChatGPT is all encompassing. It can really create some tremendous topics that you can talk about. Now, the answer that you might get is a little different from what I might get because I'm using GPT-4, but in your case, you'll also get a decent answer if you're using GPT 3.5. Now, let's go ahead and let's ask ChatGPT at this particular point to create a logo. Now, because I'm activating GPT-4, I have DALL-E 3, so I can create a logo. So I'm going to say, create a logo for my YouTube channel. And because I'm using DALL-E 3, which is because it's GPT-4, I shall be able to do this, okay? All right, so ChatGPT right now is going to proceed to create an image. As you can see, it is using DALL-E 3. And while it's doing it, I would like to go and introduce you to Leonardo. So go to the website I've linked to in the resources of this lecture, leonardo.ai, click on Launch App, create an account. Make sure that you don't show NSFW content because that might create NSFW content for you. But just create an account, and then when you're here, click on AI image generation. And when you click on AI image generation, you shall be ready to create logos. Now, Leonardo AI actually functions based on models. At this point, I'm using the photoreal model, which if I deactivate, I shall be able now to change the model. Now, you cannot change a model if you have photoreal activated. And by the way, I think photoreal is only a pro feature. But if you have it deactivated, you shall be able to use other models, such as Leonardo Diffusion XL, Stable Diffusion 2.1, Stable Diffusion 2.1.5, which, by the way, Leonardo AI was built on the Stable Diffusion model. And for those of you that don't understand what that means, if you want to generate images with Stable Diffusion, you have to access automatic 1111 or automatic 1111, which is pretty complex. So you'll have to be able to access directories and understand what's going on there, and it will take you time to set up the automatic 1111 for you to be able to generate the images that you want to generate. And besides, it takes a lot of things, a lot of elements that you have to add, and things that you have to consider before creating an image there. The process is very difficult if you want to do it that way. And so what Leonardo AI thought, okay, well, let's create a platform that is basically built on the model of Stable Diffusion 1.5 and 2.1. And let's allow people to generate images by simply choosing their model and adding just a simple prompt with text. Nothing easier than that, right? So let's take away the technical aspect and let's just enable them to create images by simply merely using text. And these models here, believe me, it's really difficult when you're using automatic 1111 because you have to upload your own model. And when you upload your own model, you have to make sure it works and you have to add a lot of inputs so that it works. And it's really very difficult. So they made it very easy. You just come here, you select a model, you type in a prompt here, and you click generate, and it generates an image, kind of like these images that you're seeing over here. Now, if you have the free version, you will have access to 150 free tokens at the point. Actually, that might change. So in the future, it might be different. But at the moment, it is 150 free tokens, which enable you to create a lot of images. So unless you're using a model that's consuming a lot of tokens, for example, if you're using Stable Diffusion 2.1 or 1.5, for example, if I go for a number of images, if I reduce it down to 1, now that's 16. Let's perhaps select this model, 3D animation. Now it's still 16 for some weird reason. It didn't lower the number of tokens, but different models consume different tokens. Okay, that's just what I want you to know because different models will consume different tokens. Some models consume way less than others. At this point, I think because I'm using Alchemy, I'm consuming a lot. So if I activate Alchemy, as you can see now, I'm only consuming 4. And if I go to Stable Diffusion 2.1 and 1.5, you can generate 4 images with 4 tokens. So if you have 150 tokens, you can generate a lot of images. I'll bring Alchemy back because this is a pro feature and I have access to it. And besides, I have a lot of tokens and they get refreshed every 24 hours, I think. And so it's actually, and there is still way too much time for the membership to expire. So I'm just going to use all my credits. I'm going to be a rich person in this course. I'm just kidding. I'm just going to use up all the credits. So here is where you type in the prompt. And when you're using, for example, a model such as Leonardo Vision, Leonardo whatever, Absolute Reality, all models, you can click on add a negative prompt. What does a negative prompt means? Let's say, for example, that you're seeking to generate a male human-robot hybrid with blue eyes and sharp features, looking sideways, with a robot armor but human face, okay? Now, because I have Grammarly, that also enables the Grammarly extension enables me to modify my text as I go. Let's say that you don't want the robot to have green eyes. You want the robot to have any kind of eyes but the green eyes. Now here, because we have specified the color of eyes, I'm going to remove that, okay? So I'm going to assume that I don't know the color of the eyes. I want to leave it for Leonardo to generate the color that it seeks. But I don't want it to generate a green color eyes. So I'm going to come over here to the negative prompt. I'm just going to simply type in green color. If I do that, I can now click generate, in which case it will generate 4 images. Notice that I'm using the model Absolute Reality v.16. You also have to notice that here you have an option to select what you want the image to be like. So if you want it to be creative or dynamic or a photography, so you select the purpose of your image, and different models have different options. You can also add elements, which I'm not going to delve into. So I'm going to close that because that's not really important in this case, even though you might want to go and explore that. So I'm going to close elements right here, even though it's, by the way, it's really fun for you to go ahead and explore that by yourself. By the way, Leonardo by itself is a science. So if I want to make a course, it will take 5 hours for us to discuss all the Leonardo panel and how you can master it, because there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. This is just how to use it so that you can use it for the course. So because we said that the robot can have any eye or any eye color besides the green color, we don't want it to have the green color. In this case, as you can see, it has generated robots, but they don't have green eyes. They have different eye colors, but not green eyes. You can add more. So let's say you don't want the robot to have hair. You can say hair. Now, if I click generate, now let me do it with a different model. So I can just choose, for example, Leonardo Vision XL. And let's just select, for example, that this is for a photography image. If we click generate, right now it's going to generate an image of a robot, except for the fact it's going to be bold and it's not going to have green eyes. So it's going to be hairless with no hair. And I mean this as no insult, by the way. It's just the way the terms are phrased. And it's going to have green color, no green color eyes. Okay. So let's just wait a second. All right, so as you can see, it has generated the image, except for it didn't take into consideration the hair. So maybe if we say hair, head hair, or what, head hair, or we could just say not bold, but let's not do it. Okay, so let's not do it. Let's just stay where we are. So now that you know how to generate images, if you want Leonardo's help with generating prompts that you want to use to generate images, you can just click prompt generation and you can come over here. Let's say you want to generate a logo for your brand. I want to say logo for the Lord of the Rings YouTube channel. If I click on ideate, I have 1,000 prompts remaining, which means I can ideate more, which is 999, actually 996, because I'm choosing 4 prompts at a time. So here, as you can see, it has given me some prompts. So if I click here, for example, it's going to proceed, and it's taken into consideration the green color as a negative prompt. So if I want to deactivate negative prompts, I can do it. And I can actually click generate again, okay? And on top of these images that were generated, we have other images that are generated, which is an amazing feature. Another thing I'd like to say that every model was trained on a specific size. So for example, Leonardo Diffusion was trained at a size 1024 by 768 pixels. So if you select a different size than that, which is, by the way, I think what we're doing here, you might have a different kind of image. So the image will not have as much quality as it should be. So always use the model, but use it in the ideal size, which is it was trained at. So for instance, if you want to know that, just go and open up another app, okay? And then at the home page, you can go to models. So I can come here to fine-tuned models. By the way, there is a lot more models. These are just the fine-tuned, which means these are the models that Leonardo AI, the company, they think those are the best. But if you want more models, go to community models, and there's a lot of models that there's no count. It's unlimited how many models there are. So I'm going to go here. And by the way, you can also make a model a favorite. For example, if you like a specific model, you could just click it and give it a like, almost like you're going to like something on Facebook. You can just follow it and it will become follow. Then you can go and find it in the list of follows. I'm just going to unfollow because I don't like this model here. So if you want to know the size at which a model is trained at, select that model. So for example, if it's Leonardo Diffusion, this model was trained at a size which is 1024 by 768. Now here, we're using Leonardo Diffusion, but we're not actually using it at the size at which it should be. We're using it at 768 by 512, which is not bad. But I can click here, 1024 by 768, and if I select any other different size, that would be problematic because it's not as much quality. Now, if I scroll down, notice these logos that were generated, which I think I'm going to go with one of them. In this case, it should be this. I think this could do extremely well on a logo for our brand. So I'm going to click, and because I have the luxury of having the pro version of Leonardo AI, I can actually use Alchemy Smooth Upscale, and then I could download this later. Right now, let's go back to ChatGPT, which I believe many of you don't have access to GPT-4. In this case, as you can see, it gave me an error. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click Save and Submit again, so that ChatGPT can basically replug the message. And you can always do this. So whenever ChatGPT is generating an answer, if you didn't like the answer, you can just come back to that prompt, click here, edit, and then you can edit the prompt and you can click Save and Submit, and it will start from scratch. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you a bit of magic. We want to use the same prompt that we have used for Leonardo on Midjourney. Midjourney is a software that you can access, whether that be on the computer. If you go to Google, you type in Midjourney, you'll have access to the Midjourney website, which you can go to. By the way, I don't think they have an affiliate program, but I'm not sure. But let me just click on Midjourney so that we can go to Midjourney. So here we are on Midjourney. You can either join the beta or sign in if you have an account. If you join the beta, they will take you to the Discord online. So you will access Discord on the browser. In my case, I don't like the Discord of the browser. I don't like this Discord on browser because I have to wait a lot for me to be able to get my answer. And besides, if you have Midjourney, it's already paid. So you don't have to come here. What you can do, instead of coming here to these newbies rooms, which, by the way, I'm not making an insult, but this is what they're called. They're called newbies. And here I'm going to close because I don't want to see anything that I don't like. So because these people, they generate images, and they can be images that are, let's just say, not really good to show. So if you have a Discord on your computer, it would be better. Install Discord on your computer, and by default, you shall have the Midjourney bot, or you should download or install the Midjourney bot, and you can communicate directly with it, and there is no one bothering you. So you're not in a wait list with 1,000 people. You can generate your images, and they're super fast. So now that we have this image, this is, I think, the upscaled version of it. Let me click. I'm going to download the upscaled version of this image, which I will intend to make my logo, unless I have a better image from Midjourney or from DALL-E 3. Now let me click out to close this, and let's go and take this prompt. And what I want to do, I want to come back here to Midjourney, click /, and this is how you prompt Midjourney. You click /, and you click Imagine, and then you type in the prompt, and then you hit enter. Now, while it's generating the answer, what I would like to do, I would like to click / describe. And here, I would like to attach the file of the image that I have just downloaded using Leonardo. Because what I want to do is I want it to describe that image for me. And based on that description, I want to test it and see if it can be able to generate a better image than that which Leonardo generated. So if I type, or if I hit enter now, Midjourney is going to describe that image for me, and I can use that description to generate the image. So you can click on any one of those descriptions. For instance, let's say that you like this description. The Lord of the Rings, glowing eye and flame, the style of rendered in the cinemas, and whatever. And if I click here, now this is the image. Now, actually, okay, so I think I'm just going to go and copy the prompt itself from scratch without clicking, because normally if you click that button, that should do the trick. Now, these images are not bad, but they don't really reflect the Lord of the Rings at all. Not like this, where we can see the Eye of Sauron and a ring, which is perfect. So I'm going to click /imagine, and basically I'm going to paste in a description that Midjourney has given us. And bear in mind that Midjourney gives you a prompt with the size. This is a size, right? 128 by 85, that's a resolution. So waiting for Midjourney to generate an answer, let's go back to ChatGPT. Now this time around as well, it wasn't able to generate a logo, okay? And that's because it says that this is a logo that is going against policy restrictions and blah, blah, blah. Now let's inject it in another way. Let's say generate a logo for a YouTube channel that speaks about Lord of the Rings lore. Now, we're not trying to infringe on copyright. By the way, we might as well think of changing the name. So Gandalf's Chronicles, I think it might be better if we choose a different name, such as such as, for example, Middle Earth Mysteries or something like that. Ringside Tales. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Ringside Tales, since this name might be of problem. Again, ChatGPT has given me the same answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh the page and try again. If it doesn't work, then it's fine. Okay, so I'm not going to stress it enough, because sometimes ChatGPT can be quite the pain. Okay, and it can particularly decide not to answer you, and sometimes it might just answer you. So I don't understand how it works. They talk about policies and stuff, but sometimes I give it the same prompt and it answers, and sometimes it doesn't answer. But let's go and check the logo given to us by Midjourney, which is not bad at all as well. These ones are not bad, but I'm going to go with the one that was given to me by Leonardo. I think that one is the best by far. So in order to format our logo, by the way, a logo for a brand on YouTube is, by the way, 800 by 800 pixels. That's what they recommend. So if you go to Canva, I would like you to click on Create a Design. And then right here, what we want to do, we want to click on Custom Size. And I want you to select 800 by 800 pixels. And then click on Create a Design. So when you're there, simply upload the image of Leonardo. Now, this is, I think, where it is. If I just drag it, let me just come back to see. Okay, so again, they're saying I'm able to generate images related to the Lord of the Rings, blah, blah, blah. Related to content policy restrictions. Okay, so that's not a problem because Leonardo can do it. So in this case, I'm just going to use the Leonardo one, but you have to understand also that DALL-E 3 is capable of generating some very interesting images. I could have injected it a different way, so I could have just probably I could have said gold eye and flame and something like this. And in that regard, it could generate an image. So if I take this prompt and I remove the keyword, the Lord of the Rings, from it, and if I just click here and paste it, at this time it will work, and I'm sure of that, because now I'm not mentioning the Lord of the Rings. But now let's go back here. So here is where we have our image. So now I'm just going to detach it from the background. I'm going to go and look for circle frame. Circle frame. Now, I made a mistake there, so it should be circle frame. And I can take a circle, and I can put this inside of it. Now, circle frame is a frame, nonetheless, just a simple frame. This is what I'm looking for. If I place it here, place the image inside. There you go. This is what I'm looking for. And so what I want to do, I want to just make this a little bit bigger, like this, and like this. And now we have our logo. So I'm going to say the Chronicles, or what name did we actually pick? Okay, again, I think today it's really a pain with DALL-E 3, but let me try tomorrow. Like I said, sometimes they can be very, very painful at saying this is against policies and stuff, but sometimes they just answer. Now, Ringside Tales is the name that we chose, so Ringside Tales, and we say logo, and that's it. Now we have our logo. I'm going to download my logo with the transparent background. In your case, you will not be able to do this, but if you want to remove the background off images for free, I'd like you to access this website called remove.bg, because we have to basically close this lecture because it's been too long. Remove.bg is a website that you go to remove the backgrounds off the images, and it's for free. Remember the name, Remove.bg. I'm going to leave it in the link in the resources, and you can remove the backgrounds from it. But in my case, I have my logo, and I can go ahead and click it, and we can look at it in full screen. I think that would be a sight. And then in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how you can design the YouTube banner for the channel. And in the YouTube banner, we need to take into consideration the logo, and we need to put a name, and we will do it in a good style. So here, this is the logo. This is how it looks like. It looks pretty decent to me. See you in the next lecture, in which we're going to proceed by creating the YouTube channel banner. Hello there and welcome back. Now in this lecture, I'm going to show you how you can design a YouTube channel banner. For that, first of all, I want to say I have for you a YouTube channel banner template that you can download. This template is very important. Let me explain it to you real quick. So when you are using a phone to look at a YouTube channel, normally what you see from the banner is just this particular red part. When you're using a computer, you're only seeing until this part. But when you are on a full screen on a TV, normally you see much more than that. But really, what we should work on is these parts. For that, I also have went and prompted ChatGPT. By the way, ChatGPT can answer questions and it doesn't answer certain questions. So in this case, I said, design a banner, and it just designed it. So, and the prompt for that, I said, design a banner for Tolkien's lore, a YouTube channel banner with some orcs, elves, hobbits, wizards, and Middle-earth in the background. And I think that maybe the Lord of the Rings is, there's a problem with the Lord of the Rings, not as much with the keyword, the other keyword, which is Tolkien. So Tolkien is the creator of the Lord of the Rings. And so basically, I don't think they have a problem using that name. And so here they generated this particular banner for me. So I just asked them to generate a banner and they created a banner, which I will use. So first of all, I got to download this. And so now that they did this, I want to go and show you the answers that we can get from Leonardo AI and from Midjourney. So, but first, for Midjourney and Leonardo, for Midjourney specifically, we need to prompt it differently when it comes to the size, because the size of a YouTube banner is basically, if we look at this image, it's I think it's about 1,000. Now, normally I have to go to size this up at a Canva. So if I go to Canva here, let's size up precisely what the size that we need. If we go here and click on Create a Design, and if you type in on Canva YouTube banner, there it is. It's 2,560 by 1,440, but that's not it because, like I said, this is what we're following. This is our guide. So if I click right here, and if I just drag, not this one, if I just drag my YouTube channel banner template, which I shared with you in the resources of the lecture, just so you know, I need to drag it again because it was not dragged, obviously. Right, there it is. Now I can take it and you can take it as well. So I'm going to basically just spread it across. And if I were to crop from here to here, which by the way, I think we need to zoom into the max so that we don't miss out on any details. Now I just want to hit that red line. And then if I scroll to the top, I'm going to repeat the process as well from the top. So let's just reduce the size of this thing. And let's make sure we hit that. So if I just reduce the size like this, and if I want to know precisely for a fact how much is the size of this thing, I can just take it again from here and just resize it and resize it back. As you can see, there's that little pop that's saying 2,560 by 422. So that is what we should incorporate into Midjourney when we're generating the image, in case you are using Midjourney, which I understand not many people have access to Midjourney. But in this case, I'm going to say imagine, put the prompt in there. And at the end, I'm going to add a comma and then 2 hyphens, AR, space, and 2,560 by 422. And let's just go ahead and click enter. So now let's leave Midjourney doing its thing. And let's go back to Leonardo to test what Leonardo will be capable of doing. Now for Leonardo to be able to generate this for us, we need, and I'm sorry to say, we need to select a different size than the ones that Leonardo was prompted to or was programmed at. But I think I'm going to go with Leonardo Vision XL. And now it's programmed at 1024 by 768. But since we have the width is much bigger than the height, I think I'm going to go, so let's go back here. I think I'm going to try the custom size. Now here, they don't have it for this model, I think. I think they don't have it for this model. No, they do. There it is. I can go here to the width, 2,560. And to the height, I'm going to make it 422. Now it's not going to be a perfect image. Now, the max I think here is 1,563, which means that we need to lower this, but it's okay. I think it's better. Let's just generate and see. Anyways, I think I'm going to go with the DALL-E one. But have a look at this. This was generated by Midjourney in case you have Midjourney. And as you can see, this is also good, but not to the level of DALL-E. So now, because I'm actually going to use the DALL-E image, I'm going to go here to my template. Now, I would like you to name this. So the name is Ringside Tales, YouTube channel banner, YouTube channel banner. And what we're going to do is basically we're going to drag and drop the DALL-E image. Now, in case you don't have DALL-E, you should be able to use images generated by a Leonardo or another tool. Or, in my opinion, you could just simply use one of these images, or just imagine something from your brain and ask Leonardo to create it. Or you can ask ChatGPT to generate a prompt that you can use to generate an image with Midjourney. That also works like that, or with Leonardo. So here, I'm going to drag. I don't know what's the problem here. I'm dragging images, but they're not getting dragged for some very weird reason. But anyways, now it's working. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually click this image and make it transparent so that we can see through. And what I'm going to do is, to put it simply, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure this is locked so that it doesn't move. No, not this one. Not this one. Sorry. This one is locked. Actually, I'm unlocking it, but I want to click this and lock it. So now this one can move, but the other one can't. So if we take this, we need to make sure that it's on that actually the text should be here. So if you have any text, make sure it's inside of here. Other elements, it's okay if they bleed out. Let's try to make this bigger, just like this, and see how this is going to look. I think just the way it looks is not too bad. So we'll keep it like this. Now, let's move on to add some text. Now, for the text, I would recommend you, if you have a membership with Creative Fabrica, they have this font, which is called the Lord font, or Lord of Fonts, kind of like the Lord of the Rings. Because if you go to these famous YouTube channels, this is the font. These are the fonts they're actually using because they match. And so, because I have a membership of Creative Fabrica that I'm not really using, and I want to make use of it because I'm paying $29.99, and just now I paid $19 because I'm a client for so long, so they gave me a discount. I want to click download, and I want to show you how you can import a font onto Canva and use it. Now, this is the font, which is great. So now we have the font. But if you go to Canva here, they have some fonts. If you go and look for fonts, maybe story kind of fonts, you'll find a lot of fonts. Now, first of all, you have to click text, and you have to select the text, and then you have to click here on the font, and you have to look story something. And I'm sure that you can find some story fonts. Now, these, unfortunately, were all uploaded by me, Bedtime and Old Story Bold, except for this one, Storybook and Storybook Rough and Poor Story. I think those ones you can use. But because I can afford it, I'm just talking for myself, I'm going to use the Lord of the Fonts. And how you install a font, basically you have to open the zip file of the font. And first thing is first, you have to create a file in your computer, a dossier. So I'm going to go to my downloads here. Normally I should be showing you this, but it's okay. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to click new and I'm going to create a file. And this one, I'm going to name it Lord of the Fonts. And in this file, I'm going to go to my zip file that was normally supposed to be opened. Now let me click again. That should do the trick. All right, so now the file is going to get opened. Now when you extract the files from your zip file, make sure that you extract them in the file that we have created right now. Otherwise, they'll be lost. So I have them in my computer, the downloads. If I go to my downloads, not the downloads, I think it's the downloads. If I filter with L, Lord of the Fonts, I can select the file and that's it. And that's the path and click finish. Now we have the font. So how do you install a font on Canva? First of all, make sure you extract the file. The file is going to get opened like this, and we have different files. So for specific files, you may have different types. In this case, we have PDF, we have all kinds. Now, these are letters. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that this is what I'm looking for, actually. If I go to black, let's see. Normally, I don't want it to be in a PDF, but okay, it's okay. So I think this is not how I wanted it to be, but it's okay. Let me click here, go inside. Now, this is not normally what fonts should look like, because fonts, they should be basically nothing more than a font that you can download and you can start using just by typing. But normally what I can see here from this Creative Fabrica thing is that this is not what we're looking for. So this is not what we're looking for. But let me just look here. All right, so I think if that's the case, I'm not going to use this font because normally, like I said, a font should be a font that I can upload onto Canva and then I can use it. In this case, this is not what I thought it was. So I think they might be outsourcing their font from somewhere else. I wonder. But I'm going to go and just try to be smart here. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write this title, right? Write this title, which is ringside Tales, in the font that looks like the Lord of the Rings golden font that they show at the beginning of the movie when they write the title of the movie. Because at the beginning of The Lord of the Rings, they actually show a title. And it's written in gold. It looks like a golden scripture or sculpture. Okay, so now ChatGPT is creating the image. Now, in your case, if you don't have access to GPT-4, what I would recommend is just use one of these fonts. They're not too bad. So I think story font like this, for example, Storybook Rough. And then you can change this to ringside Tales. And there are some adjustments that I can show you how to do. So for instance, I can take this and I can make it bigger like this, ringside Tales, like this, not that big, and put it in the center or something like that. I think it's too big, so let me just reduce it like this. Make sure it's in the center, it's a little bit at the top, and make sure it doesn't go outside of the red area. And then what I would do is I would just take this and I would make it gold, right? So I'd choose a golden color for it. So I would go right here and I would just select this color, make it gold. That's good. And then I would zoom in. Let me show you some magic. So if you click here and if you click duplicate, now we have two. And I'm going to select the second one, make it dark, right? So I'm going to make it pitch black like that. And then I can position it backward and then it's back. And then I can just take this and place it right back. And as you can see, that gives off a vibe like the Lord of the Rings. So now let me go back. Let me click the image and fixate it for a moment because I want to select these and group them. So now they are one and they can be centered accordingly. And if I go to my uploads here, we have this, the Lord of the Rings logo. I can take that as well. And I can just reduce the size of it. And what I want to do, I want to go here and look for circle frame again. And basically putting it into a circle frame. So just like we did earlier. And then we can just go ahead and make this smaller. And maybe place it somewhere around here or somewhere around here. Or just, I think it would be good if it's at the bottom. Let me just drag this a little bit to the top and then place this here. Just make it a little bit smaller than that, I think. Like that. And I think that this looks pretty decent. In the meantime, let's see ChatGPT's answer. Okay. So ChatGPT responded that it can't. And I respect that. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to do it like this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to ungroup for a moment and click out, then click again, then select this. I'm going to go to effects. I'm going to add a neon effect and make it a little bit more light, add a little bit more light. And I think this will make it look a little bit better, right? Ringside Tales with that shadow, and it looks pretty decent. So right now, I think we can group them back again. All right, so I wanted to use that font, but we can't do only what we can do. So now here, I think we're done. And now I can just click on my image, unlock it, and then basically, let me do one thing. Let me just place it where I want it to be and then position it backward. So now I can select this and unlock it and remove it. And I'm going to click on my image again and basically just increase the transparency of it. And now we have our The Lord of the Rings banner. And if I download, now we are supposed to just go ahead and download it. Now I'm just going to download it as a PNG, no transparent background or anything, just a PNG. Or I think, okay, so let me just go back. I think a transparent background would be better. because on a thumbnail, on a YouTube banner would be better. All right, so now let's download. In the next lecture, what we're going to do, we're going to take these elements and we're going to optimize our YouTube channel. And then we're going to start the process. Hello there and welcome back in this lecture in which I'm going to show you how you can optimize your YouTube channel using the elements that we have just created and ChatGPT as well. So in order for you to customize a channel, this is a channel that I think I had maybe 10 years ago. I never actually published any video on it, but this is the perfect channel because that's what we're going to need, assuming that you don't have a channel or you have one, but you want to customize it. So if you go to your channel and click on View Channel, here you can click on Customize this channel. That will take you to the YouTube Studio. And you can actually start customizing the YouTube channel's information. And you can basically create a description for your channel. You can add a banner and a logo. We're going to be interested in the branding. So I'm going to click on branding here. And I want you to go ahead and to change this to the logo. All right, so this is the logo. I can click done and I don't need to crop it or anything. As you can see, it looks really, honestly, it looks good. Okay. Now for the banner, upload your banner. And as you can see here, this is the size for the banner. But if you follow what I've said, you should be able to have a pretty decent looking banner. Okay, so now we have our banner. And as you can see, this is what's viewable on all devices. And this is what's viewable on desktop. And the other areas are only viewable on TV. And I suspect that many people will actually watch you on TV. And if they do, they will still be able to see more. And the background is transparent, which means that they will see the entire picture. But as of now that we have basically created the banner and the logo, here there's a watermark. Now for the watermark, it's very simple. What we're going to have to do is basically go to Canva, click on custom size. Here, as they're saying here, it's 150 by 150 pixels. So that's particularly the size that we have to put our design at. 150 by 150, click on create a design. Now, we can particularly close everything else apart from this because I'm seeking to copy this and then I'm going to go back. So 150 by 150 and it's the watermark. So basically Control V, hit paste it there. There you go. There you have it. Now, if I zoom out, now still it hasn't been pasted, but let's first of all name this YouTube channel thingy or YouTube channel. All right, YouTube channel pop-up or watermark. Let's go back. Watermark logo. And here, I'm just going to click Control V to paste in the logo. Now, in your case, you don't have to do this. You can just upload the image from Leonardo directly, and then you can add a frame to it exactly as I've shown you. So I'm going to download this with a transparent background. Again, if you don't have Canva Pro, you can use another tool, which is remove.bg. So right now our channel is getting ready. So I'm going to click here to upload the image and there you go. So right now we have our little thing that's going to show. And if people click on that, they're going to be able, actually, normally it should display at the end of the video and you can even customize it. I'm just going to keep it at the end of the video and publish these changes. Okay. Now we can view channel, but let's just keep it for later. Let's go to basic info. On basic info, the name of the channel. The name of the channel is Ringside Tales. That's a pretty decent name. Now here, I don't know why, but it seems to be, okay, I think it's good. So let me just go back. Ringside Tales. And here for the handle, I'm going to add Ringside Tales, all written in basically like that. And the description, we can ask ChatGPT to write a description for our channel. You can add links. So if you have a website, you can add a link to your website. If you want to add your email, you can add it, even though I recommend you against that. But if your purpose is to create a channel to be lucrative and to also get some deals from brands online, then adding your email can help because they can contact you in your email if they have a deal for you. But that's assuming you start to get a lot of views, which, by the way, is not impossible. But it takes work and it takes time. So for example, this channel has 375 videos, but 1 million subscribers. And every video they publish, in just 4 days, they get approximately 145,000 views for this video. Some videos don't get views, but when you publish the right video that people like, that has the best title and that people really admire, like for instance here, this one, the history of Sauron. Actually, Sauron is a pretty, I would say, attractive character to many people. And so when you talk about topics like that, then you can get more views. You can expect to get more views. Anything about Sauron really is trending. You can see here Sauron the Necromancer, anything with Sauron really. Just search the topic Sauron and you'll find that people are really attracted to Sauron for some reason. But in our case, we're just going to go back to our channel. So here, if I go to ChatGPT, I will go to a new chat here. Let's open up a new chat. Now, I'm going to basically write a prompt. Let's say I have a YouTube channel titled, and I'm going to give it the title of my channel, Ringside Lore, and it speaks about the Lord of the Rings lore. Now, not ringside. Ringside, is it ringside lore? Yeah, I think ringside tales. I'm sorry for that. All right, ringside tales, and then here Lord of the Rings lore, and I want a proper description for it. So let's just wait. Hopefully, it doesn't give us a politically correct answer by saying I can't do that, because we're not asking it to create a logo here. Welcome to Ringside Tales. Immerse yourself in blah, blah, blah. And as you can see, I can just simply copy this with the emojis. I'm not sure if the emoji is going to display precisely as we seek, but I'm just going to copy everything with the emojis and everything and everything. So, subscribe. That's also a great thing. Now let's go back to ChatGPT. Scroll down here. Place the description. Okay. Your description is too long, right? So probably let's just remove these parts that says insightful, blah, blah, blah. That stuff that's not really interesting. And then I think I'm just going to keep it at that. Now, add a language. Now, I'm just going to publish it like this, to be honest. And now let's go ahead and view the channel. So if I click on View Channel, we will be able to see our channel, which will look quite decent, I have to say, because I'm quite skilled at this and I've done it for quite some good times to know how to do this. But as you can see, the banner looks good. Ringside Tales. The logo is great. All that is necessary right now is for us to go ahead and just start the process. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the next lecture. Into this lecture in which we're going to go ahead and start the process. So in this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to CapCut, which is the software that we're going to be utilizing to create our videos, because it actually converts the videos faster, and also it allows some transitions. Now, there is a free and paid version of it, but we're only going to be using the free version of it. Now, if you go to Google, if you search for CapCut, you shall find CapCut, and here you can see free online video editor. And if you click right here, you should be able to go to the website. Now, there is two ways about this. You can either use CapCut and open up CapCut on your browser, or like myself, you can install CapCut on your computer. Now, what CapCut looks like if you use it on your own browser is like this. And it looks in a similar way like Canva, so it reminds me of the Canva interface. And I don't like this particular interface here. Not that it's bad, but I don't like to edit on here. And I would recommend you to go back into the steps and then basically just look for a CapCut download. Look for CapCut download. You should find a link in which you can go ahead and download CapCut. And basically, it's not an app. It's CapCut, download CapCut in Windows. So look for CapCut for Windows or Mac and then download the version of CapCut. Once you download it, you should be able to open it like any other application on your computer, like you're opening Discord or any application on your computer. So when you open CapCut, this is what the interface looks like, and it's reminiscent of Adobe Premiere. Now, let me just remove this part. Now here they're asking me if I want to add auto captions. I don't trust their auto captions because they use AI. Now there are other tools that are better at generating auto captions than CapCut, but also if you want to add your own captions with CapCut, you can do so. The time, we will only show you what you need in order for you to create a channel using CapCut. So we'll not really go very, very far. But we'll show you what's necessary for you to go ahead and create a channel. So this is the CapCut interface. In the next lecture, we're going to have ChatGPT write out a script for us for a YouTube short video. And then what we're going to do, we're going to import that video here. But first thing is first, as you can see here, there is nothing that we can do because we have no media. We have imported no media. That is why we're going to have to go ahead and start importing a media for our YouTube short video that we want to create. So I advise you to install CapCut, and then we'll go to ChatGPT. And I have a scene in my mind, a scene in which Bilbo was actually in the dragons, in the hall of Thor, in which there was Smaug actually was talking to him, and Bilbo was wearing the ring. And there was an instance which I think could go viral, in which Bilbo actually, while wearing the ring, still Smaug could see exactly where he is, and he played dumb with him. He couldn't see it precisely. I'm sorry. He could sense where he was, but he couldn't see him. But basically, at some moment, Smaug was actually saying he cornered Bilbo, and he told him that he's wearing, or he suspects that he's wearing or carrying something made of gold and far more precious, as Smaug says in the film. And he kept repeating precious, precious, precious as some sort of an incantation. So dragons are also wizards, for people that don't know, but dragons, they can throw incantations. They can throw spells. People don't know this, but dragons are basically wizards as well. So that incantation, we wanna unveil the secret behind why Smaug's incantation of precious made Bilbo remove the ring in the first place, and why is it exactly after Bilbo removed the ring, he saw a flash of the Eye of Sauron. In that scene, there was a flash of the Eye of Sauron, and we want to unveil that in less than 60 seconds. So let's go ahead and do that in the next lecture. To the process. The prompt is basically however you're going to speak with someone you know. So we're going to ask ChatGPT, right? I'm in the process of creating a YouTube short in which I want to debunk a scene between Bilbo and Smaug. So why is it that when Smaug kept repeating the words precious 3 times, that Bilbo took the ring from his finger and there was a split-second flash of Sauron? Okay, and we want to do this in 6 seconds. And I want the video to be in 60 seconds. I'm sorry, 60 seconds or less. Suggest a script accompanied with the voiceover that should be said, that should be uttered in this video, as well as the perfect scenes to display in the videos. Okay, so now let's go ahead and just wait a second for ChatGPT's response. Okay, so now ChatGPT has generated the script for us that we can go ahead and debunk. From second 0 to 5, it suggests that we should open with a dramatic clip of Smaug facing Bilbo in the treasure room. And the voiceover should be, ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Show Smaug repeating precious thrice. Zoom in, this is the scene. I should zoom in on Bilbo's face. We can do this later. I'm going to show you how. And the voiceover, notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo. Then in the third scene, we should show a flashback to Gollum referring to the ring as my precious. And then the voiceover, it reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious. Then there's another scene in which it's a quick cut to the split-second flash of Sauron. So I should show that quick cut to the split second flash of Sauron. Then actually I should say then a split second flash of Sauron. Why it's a cinematic hint. I think it could these scenes don't have to be 5 seconds exactly. They can be less. They can be a little more. Show a montage of the ring's influence over characters like Frodo, Isildur, that the ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer, fears, and memories. Return to Bilbo removing the ring, looking fearful. Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark influence. And then I should end with an iconic shot of the ring. Ideally, I think it should be the scene in which Gandalf tried to touch the ring, but I'm going to decide about that. And then the voiceover, and that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries. Okay, so what now? Now I think you know what to do, but let me just put you in the right direction. These scenes that you're seeing here, that ChatGPT is suggesting, you have to go and take a screen recording without the voice. Okay, just take the scene with no voice. And these scenes you can actually take them using OBS, or if you have Camtasia, which basically is quite expensive, but OBS is for free. Or if you have a Windows screen recorder, you can also use that. Or Mac, if you have Mac, they have their own recording system. And so you can use those to record the screen. You just have to go and find a video. So if you go to YouTube, and if you search for Bilbo and Smaug, you should find all the material that you need. So I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to go and take these screenshots of the Bilbo the screen recordings, and I'll meet you in the next lecture. In which we're going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT regarding the best music that we can potentially use for our video. Now, I've already went ahead and taken screenshots or screen recordings of these videos, and this is what it will look like. So it will look like a scene with nothing but the scene. So there's no sound. And let's look at one of them right now. So as you can see, this is a scene of Smaug and Bilbo running. And this is what we're going to use as the introductory scene. Then we have scene number 2. So basically, you just have to be good at taking screen recordings and trimming those screen recordings, because there are certain scenes that you need to take away. And just keep 5 to 6 seconds per scene, and we will use those. This is the second one, in which we show Bilbo removing the ring, Smaug saying the incantation of precious, precious. And quite frankly, even if I was wearing the ring, with that noise of Smaug or the sound of Smaug, you would remove the ring. So here, as you can see, there is Gollum happy with the ring. And then we have another scene here in which there is basically showcasing Isildur and Frodo's, not this one. This is the one with showing. Actually, here I've edited this using Camtasia, and I've increased the size of the last part of the video in which there is the eye, and I basically just increased the length of that 1 second scene where the eye is shown to emphasize on it. And here is a scene basically showcasing Frodo and Isildur impacted with the ring, as it does with pretty much everybody that touches it. And then this is scene number 6, where we have Bilbo really struggling. And yeah, this is it. And then the final scene showcasing the ring. It's a closing scene in which we show Gandalf trying to touch the ring, but the ring is like a snake to Gandalf. So as you can see there, that's what it is. So now what we ought to do, we ought to assemble these videos. But first of all, we need to find out a pretty good background music for the clip. And also, I'd like you to go and download a transition SFX sound. So if you go and look on Google for transition SFX sound, you shall find some transition SFX sound. Now here I found this. Let me listen to this. This sound is what I will use as the transition between each scene. So each scene, I will use this as a sound for the transition. And now let's ask ChatGPT to suggest a background music that would best fit. And it's going to proceed. Now, in the meantime, I'd like you to go and conduct a research about the copyright regarding what we're doing. So if you look for a YouTube video, video or movie, using movies in YouTube videos copyright, using movies in YouTube videos copyright. There is a link here, which is, it goes to this website. Basically, let me scroll. I think I can just share it with you. And it's in HitPaw. There's a website called HitPaw. They have an article about copyright regarding when you're using scenes from movies. Now, if you'd like to use scenes from movies, there are plenty of videos out there that are going to tell you regarding copyright. But this link here, I think, is going to be very sufficient for most of you. But what I want to say regarding copyright is if you're just using clips from the movie, as long as you're not using the entire movie or claiming it to be yours, or creating a website where you put the movie and then get people to watch the movie in your website so that you can make AdSense money, even though people do that still. And it's Google doesn't take those websites down for some reason. But if you're doing it for educational reasons, if you're just taking bits and pieces from movies, that's called fair use, and it should not be a problem as long as you're not taking the entire movie or claiming it to be yours, or not modifying it heavily by adding like we're going to do transitions. So basically, you should have no problem. But still, I'll leave the link to you in the resources so that you can go and search. Now, for the background music here, basically cinematic fantasy music, mysterious and atmosphere score. I'll go with cinematic and fantasy music. So if I go to Google, you search for cinematic, right? Cinematic and fantasy music, background music, actually, because we don't want it to be a music where there's someone singing. We just want a background music. Background music, Pixabay. Pixabay actually is a treasure trove for pretty much anything you need, and you can find elements with no copyright. So I'm going to go here. Let's listen to the first one. Now this one is scary. I'm going to go for the second. Let's see. Well, not really. This one, yes, I think this one is good because it has that Harry Potter element to it, that thing. But let me listen again. Yeah, I think this one will fit perfectly in what we're trying to do. So now that we got this done, the only thing we're going to do right now is I'm going to introduce you in the next lecture to 11 Labs, which is the software that's going to help us to turn the voiceovers into real sounds. By the way, if you'd like to create a voice of Gandalf, you can actually. That's quite fun because you can create a Gandalf voice. That's called deepfake. But this course is not about deepfake, so I'm just going to leave that for maybe those of you that want to go and explore that by yourself. You can also find a lot of videos about that. But deepfaking, you can actually create a deepfaked voice of a person. I can show you my library of voices. I have Donald Trump cloned. I have Joe Biden cloned. I have all these kinds of famous voices cloned. But we'll talk about that in the next lecture. As of now, I'll see you in the next lecture in which we're going to go and clone. And not clone, but in which we're going to choose a voiceover for someone, a storyteller, using a software called 11 Labs. See you in the next lecture. In which I'm going to show you around 11 Labs. So if you go to the link in the resource of the lecture, you'll find 11labs.io, access it. So from there, if you go to 11 Labs' voice library, you can find plenty of voices. So for instance, if you're seeking to create a story, now here, first of all, in the voice library, there's a lot of voices. But if you want to filter by type of voice, for example, if it's for narrative and story, click narrative and story, and you can see here, we have all these kind of voices. Alex, Marcus, Romeo, and any voice you'd like to basically visualize or hear how it sounds, you can just click, for example, on this voice.
Let us always meet each other with smile, for the smile is the beginning of love.
Now that's a good voice, but I think it's quite scary, so I'm going to go for the next one.
I'm not interested in age. I'm not interested in...
Well, not really good. Let's look for this one.
Never do things others can do and will do.
Yes. This one is good. So when you like a voice, click Add to Voice Lab. And immediately here, they'll ask you to rename it. I'm just going to keep it as is. Click Add Voice. Now the voice is in the Voice Lab. If I go to the Voice Lab, clicking Voice Lab, this will take me to the Voice Lab in which I have 19 voices for the time being. Now, these are voices, some of them actually just 3 or 4 that I've uploaded from the voice library, but most of them I've actually created myself. For example, Trump. Let's say you want to sound like Donald Trump. You can actually take a voice of Trump and create a voice of Trump. So you can just take a recording of Trump talking, even though this is entirely not permitted. This is illegal and it could get you into trouble. So don't do it. Not for commercial purposes, not for any purpose whatsoever. But you can do it for fun as long as you don't share any video of Trump saying anything that you are saying. So that could land you into legal trouble. But I'm just showing you what this software is capable of. So if you want to clone a voice, you can just click here on plus. And you can either design a voice from scratch in which you could just create a voice, which I don't like. Or you can clone a voice, or you can upload your own voice, and then you can clone your own voice by adding your own voice. Now here, if you click on instant voice cloning, and here as well, you can actually add your own voice to clone your voice if you would like. Now, you just have to name your voice, upload a file which contains the voice that you want to clone, and then click I hereby confirm that I have the necessary publishing rights, and add the voice. So unless you have a written consent from the person which you're cloning the voice of, then you cannot clone their voices because that's entirely not permitted, okay? I know you see a lot of people doing it on YouTube, but that will get them into all sorts of legal troubles. And so unless there is a definite law that tells you that you can do it without having any repercussions, then you can go ahead. But if we want to, for example, test, here I have Trump's voice, Joe Rogan, The Rock, here, what more, Elon Musk, Joe Biden, and so on and so forth, and even the clone of my own voice. So if I click on use, in this case, it will take me to the speech synthesis area, which you can click just by clicking here. And in the speech synthesis, there are 2 options. The second option, I think, is the best one. I'll tell you why. Because speech to speech is actually you talk. So you go and you say, you take this script. So for example, the first script says, ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. You take a recording of yourself saying that. And then when you take a recording of yourself saying that, you upload it here. And then you select the voice that you want to emulate. But the good thing is that if you're using speech to speech, you're actually going to keep the feeling and the way you talk. Okay? Now, in this case, we're not going to do it. But if you want to do it, record yourself saying this, and then take whichever voice you want to apply your voice to. So if you want to sound like Donald Trump or to sound like the guy that we just taken the voice of, which is basically, if I scroll down, I think it should be somewhere around here. Romeo, yeah. This is a good combination because you can keep the feeling in the voice. As opposed to that, if you don't do it, you'll have a very bland voice. Now, I'm going to go to speech. I'm just going to show you Donald Trump because I really cloned him very, very well. So if I scroll, Trump voice, and here I have this script that says, hey, are you prepared and whatnot. I'm just going to remove part of it, and then I'm going to click on generate. And in this case, it's going to generate Donald Trump saying,
are you prepared for the AI era? Because AI is here to take your job.
And also your voice clone will depend highly on the quality of the voice that you've uploaded when you're doing the cloning. So if you can do some editing to the voice, make it clearer and perfect, the pitch needs to be perfect, then you will have a better clone. But in here, I'm going to show you the voice that we have selected, which is Romeo. And we're going to create our first voiceover. So if I go to the voiceover number 1, it's okay if I copy it entirely with the brackets. It's not going to read them anyways. So I'm going to copy it, come back right here. You can modify the voice settings, even though I recommend you to leave them by default. And then you can remove this and put the voiceover as per ChatGPT. Click generate, wait 2 seconds. ChatGPT, 11 Labs will generate the voice.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds.
Is it a good voice or not? I think it's really great. So I'm going to download this. So this is voiceover number 1. Now let's repeat the process for voiceover number 2. So voiceover number 2 is, notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory and so on and so forth. Make sure you download your voice when you generate it, because if you don't, you're going to have to do it again. So here, I'm going to delete this part and add the new one, generate. Now these voiceovers, they have to be at least 5 seconds.
Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo.
All right, so I've downloaded the second voiceover. Now let's move on to the third voiceover. It reminds him of Gollum. And so I'm going to copy this. I hope that you're practicing while you're watching this, because I didn't do it so that you just watch.
It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious.
I'm going to download this, and then let's move on to another one, then a split-second flash, and so on and so forth. So basically what we're doing is just copy, paste, copy, paste. And by the way, you can actually do this, I think, with $1. There are other softwares, but 11 Labs is by far the best.
Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint.
I'm going to regenerate this one because I didn't like how it seemed. So I'm regenerating.
Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint.
Okay, I think this one is good. So now I'm going to download it. The other one, I didn't think it was good because it didn't have feelings. It was robotic. And by the way, these voices are really tremendously powerful. And I think that with the combination of speech-to-speech, you can do it better.
And that the ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer's fears and memories.
Okay, so let me just download that. And then there's, I think, 2 more, and then we're done. So if I download this, Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle and whatnot. So let's go ahead. We have to make sure the video is absolutely 60 seconds or less.
Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark influence.
Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to have to download it first. I almost forgot. And now the last scene is end that's the hidden depth. Okay, so this is the last one, so nothing to it. Just basically create the voiceover, and let's wrap up with this. So in the next lecture, we're going to do another interesting thing.
And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
Okay, so in the next lecture, I'm actually going to show you how you can take a photo. You can create a photo using Leonardo of a wizard. In this case, we're going to create Gandalf, a picture of Gandalf. And then we're going to make that picture talk. And we're going to make it talk with the first script, the first voiceover. So let's go ahead and do that in the next lecture. Hello there and welcome in this lecture in which I'm going to show you how you can utilize the ID. So go to this platform that I shared the link with you in the resources of the lecture. It's the-id.com. This website can actually make images talk. And if you go there, you can start a free trial. In my case, I'm just going to log in. Now, in my case, I'm logging in because I already have an account. As you can see here, I've made plenty of characters talk, mainly AI, and some of them for my new website. But in this case, we're going to go to Leonardo and we'll generate a picture or an image of Gandalf. You can generate it using whichever model that you like. In my case, I'm going to generate the image of Gandalf using photoreal. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to say Gandalf. Hopefully, they don't give me a politically correct answer of Gandalf is copyrighted. Or what we can do to stay away from any issues, what we can do, we can say wizard that looks like Gandalf. So that way we're not really stealing anything from anyone. Looks like Gandalf. So this way, and we're going to say, but with blue hair. Okay, so we'll say that it's a wizard with blue hair, assuming people might think these are the blue wizards that are not yet shown, or were never actually shown. We never got to see the blue wizards in the Lord of the Rings. But here, it's going to start. Wizard that looks like Gandalf but with blue hair, and after that we're gonna take that picture and we're gonna make it talk. And how you do that is basically, first of all, you need a voiceover or a text. In my case, I'm gonna go to the ID, click on create a video, and you should do it too. In the ID, you can upload a picture, and you have 2 ways of how you can make it speak. You can either write what you want it to say here, or you can simply upload an audio from your computer. In our case, we already have an audio. And under the free trial, I think you have 20 credits, which should be enough to generate maybe 10 videos or sometimes less, depending on how big the audio is. Because I have the audio, I'm going to go and upload it first. But actually, I think it's the other way around because I think we have to have the picture first, then we can basically make it talk. So here we have this picture, we have this picture. I'm going to go with this one. But first, I need to unzoom the image. So I'm going to unzoom it so that we can see the pointy hat of the blue wizard that looks pretty much like Gandalf. And as you can see, there's a high level of a degree of photorealism in these pictures because I'm using the photoreal model. But I would assume that Leonardo Diffusion and the other models are also capable of doing such things. And yeah, so now we have the unzoomed image. All I need to do is click View Unzoomed Image. Now I can see the entire landscape, and hopefully I can see the entire hat. Yes, I do. Now I can download. I don't need to smoothen this or anything. And then what we need to do, we need to come here to DID, click on Add, and basically just add in your picture of Gandalf. And by the way, DID are quite sensitive. If you add a picture of a celebrity or someone, they will not accept it because they will know using the facial recognition which person that is. And so make sure that the images they're uploading are not looking like someone in real life. Hopefully this doesn't. So let's just wait. Hopefully they will find if they can recognize facial features. I've tried in the past to upload robots, but robots, because they don't have any face, they cannot make them talk. You have to upload a face-like person. So the voiceover we're trying to upload is voiceover number 1, which basically is the starting voiceover. And since we're going to upload that voiceover, we can just not use it in the video. So now we uploaded the voiceover and everything. I can click Generate Video. And here it will take me just 1 credit, which is very surprising considering that it used to take more. I think they're slowing down. DID Agents Limited Release is now open. Join waitlist. Okay, let me just click here, but not now. Let me do it in another time. But now we can watch the video. So let's play this video and watch it together. 1, 2, 3.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds.
As you can see, we kind of made that Gandalf talk. There's an issue with the hat. I think we can hide it in the video. But now let's go ahead and click on download this video. So let's go to CapCut in the next lecture and assemble everything that we have now created. And basically, we can create our YouTube short, and then we need to move on with the other video that we're also going to create, which is going to be a standard YouTube video. See you in the next lecture. Hello there and welcome back in this lecture in which I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and create the video. But first of all, because in the first video we have a video already created a video for Smaug, and there was Smaug appearing in a video. What I want to do is I want to basically combine 2 videos, and I cannot do this on CapCut, so I'm going to have to do it here on Canva, and then we're going to go to CapCut. Just indulge me. So here we're going to name this intro scene. And what we're going to do, we're going to upload the scene in which there is Smaug, and then the scene in which Gandalf is talking. And we're going to remove the background off of Gandalf, or off of that blue wizard, not Gandalf. The blue wizard who's not Gandalf. Now, first of all, scene number 1, let's upload that. Now, you can upload scenes to Canva. And yeah, so here the scene is getting uploaded. All right, so here we have it. Now we have the scene. I'm going to just take it and drag it there, and then I'm going to set the video as background. And then what we need to do, we need to upload the scene in which there is Gandalf, or I keep saying Gandalf, the blue version of Gandalf. So here, let's go back. Blue wizard intro. And we can basically just add the blue wizard. And I can take the background from him. So
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when...
Let me stop this video, and then I'm going to click Edit Video. And then here we have background remover. I'm going to remove the background. Now, for those of you who don't have access to background remover, I'm quite sorry because background remover for most software is pro for videos, not for images. For images, you can find it for free, but for videos, it's pro. And I believe there is no other way that you can do this. I'm quite sorry. Also, by removing the background, we also remove that DID logo here that appears here. And so now we can take Gandalf actually and make him a little bit bigger, so that he is, or the blue wizard, make it a little bit bigger. And I want to just hide that hat effect because I don't want people to notice there's a zigzag thing. And then now we have this video, and then I can just go ahead and download this with the sound and everything. Click download. It's a 6-second video. I'm going to download it in all quality. Click download. In the meantime, while the video is getting downloaded, I would like you to go and import the first part the first scene of the video. So I'm going to go right here. And this is very simple. So don't worry, because this is really, really simple. So go to your file, which you've put all your scenes. And let's start adding scene. So I'm going to add scene number 2. And then every scene that we add, we must go ahead and basically drag it here. So this is the first scene. And then what you'd like to do is just drag and drop it here. And then what I want to do is I want to basically switch the ratio of the video so that it's a TikTok kind of video. So if I click right here on the ratios, now here there are all kinds of ratios. What we want is a 9:16, and it's going to become a 9:16-inch video. As you can see, we still have some work to do because we need to make the video larger from here. And at the same time, I want you to click here on the turn off main track magnet so that we can move this however we like. Because if you turn it on, it snaps into the scene, and I don't want that. So I want to move this around. And then let me take this here, take the cursor, just like you would take the cursor of any editing software. And then we want to click on the video. We want to scale this video. So I'm going to scale this back to where we can see most of it. And then I need to move it aside. So the position of it. Okay. All right, so you can actually just drag the image like this, or drag the video like this. Now let's watch it first. Okay, let's watch. Then we have Bilbo. As you can see, Bilbo is quite struggling there. But we'll see what to do with these scenes depending on the voiceover. Now let's just put the scene here. And then let's go ahead and import the second scene. And then the third and the fourth. And we can edit them later. So I'm going to go and show you some tricks that you can do. Now let's add scene number 3. And add it right next to this one. Right? Like this. And then basically you can zoom out. And then you can click import. You can add another scene. I know that you didn't really have a very large introduction to CapCut, but I believe that you will learn as you go. If you do what I'm doing now, you'll learn as you go. So this is scene number 4. Drag it and place it here. Go to import as well. Drag scene number 5, and so on and so forth until we basically have added all the scenes. So if I go to scene number 5, by the way, it's entirely it's entirely normal if you keep the aspect ratio other than TikTok if you want. You can keep it small like this, but that's not really going to be very good, okay? I'd like to just increase the size to fit the entire screen. But if you have another argument, then that's your prerogative. You can do it if you want to. So I'm going to take this here and then import. Hopefully our scene of the introduction is now ready so that we can import it as well. That scene has a static Gandalf, so it's not going to be a very big problem. And then there's the last scene. Let me go back and check. So here, our scene was downloaded. Let's go ahead and import it as well. We're going to import it at the beginning. So let's make sure there is room. I'm going to move these aside, click import, and then basically import the scene of Gandalf. There it is, the intro scene. Let's scroll down, then take the intro scene. Now the intro scene is the only one which has the voiceover. So let me just drag it down to the very beginning of the video, making sure that it's at the very, very beginning because we don't want to have any gaps. And then let's listen to this.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds.
All right, let's debunk this in 60 seconds. So actually there, if I zoom in, you will be able to see the audio profile. So you can see right here
this in 60
the audio
seconds.
profile. And also one thing that you have to pay attention to, when the audio is playing, you have to make sure it's coming out of both these inputs and these inputs or outputs. These ones that are showing in a green color, that's a sign that it works in both earbuds. So if someone is listening to this by earbud, it works in both. So now, because the last bit, if you zoom to the max, the last bit of the video, there is no voiceover. The voiceover cuts off. So you have to make sure you click and you position your cursor right where you want to cut, and then click here on split. Now we have this scene. We can click enter and it's deleted. Now we can zoom out, and this scene here, it needs a little bit more trimming. So if I zoom in, I'm trimming as much as I can because this is very important that we must do it, because we must make sure that the video doesn't have waste in it, Because otherwise, as you can see here, there is big waste in this area. Let me zoom out, click, split, move this like this. Just follow with me and you shall learn. Move this here and then split as well. Remove excess parts where there is no sound. And here, I'm going to have to just drag this right there and then let me go back to the very beginning. And the very beginning, there's just a little bit, that beginning is actually, there is a part which there's nothing being said. And then let's zoom out a little bit more and then select everything and then right click and then create a compound group so that it becomes one. And now we can move it back to basically eliminate that gap. So if we listen to this again, there's going to be a slight difference.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds.
Right, so as you can see, that's what we're looking for. Now let me click here and let's make this bigger, the image or the video. Let's scale it. You can also scale it from here. If you can't select everything, you can just scale it from here like this. And it shows in the entire video. Now, let's go ahead to all the other scenes. We're going to zoom out and basically select all of them and then take them and split them or put them there, close. Now we can enable this back, the magnet, so that they just split back. And then I'm going to start adding voiceover by voiceover. So let me go ahead to the first scene first, like this. And then you click import. And then basically what we're going to do, we're going to import the first voiceover of the video. So if you go, I'm going to go to my file. All right, voiceover 1 was for the introduction, so we'll skip it. Now voiceover 2. Voiceover 2, there it is, and we can drag it. Normally this is the place of a voice. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to place it at the very beginning. And hopefully it contains the entire scene. So if we listen to this.
Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo.
All right, so we want to emphasize on Smaug saying precious. So I'm going to move this scene right over here where it focuses more on Smaug. And then if we watch it back, normally we should see Smaug making that incantation.
Notice Smaug emphasizing.
And I'm going to have to scale this down a little bit like this so that we can see more of the video. Let me just go back and watch it again.
Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times.
Okay, I'm going to have to scale it even more because we need to show the details of Smaug saying that. Let's watch it again, and if it's good, we're going to move on.
Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times.
Okay, so Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times, and from here I'm going to take the scene, I'm going to split it, and then the next scene here, we have to show Bilbo. Now, I'm not sure I did split the scene. Right, so I'm going to split it from here. Right, let's just... Right, I did split it. Okay, so I'm going to, in this scene, we're going to have to show Bilbo. And it's okay if we increase the size of this, like this. And then, let's watch a little bit.
Precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo.
Okay, so that's perfectly representative of what we're looking to do. Just increasing Bilbo and moving him down a little bit. Now let's see. Okay, so now this is good. Now let me take these 2 scenes and basically make them a compound clip. And then there is a last bit, if I zoom in, there's a last bit in which there is nothing said. So it's empty. So I'm going to take this and split it and take that excess part. And then this excess part as well, we have to take it because there is nothing to it. And then now this should pull into place. But I'm going to move it down, move it back like this. So now we're scene number 3. We're close. I'm going to click import. And then let's import the voiceover number 3, that of Gollum. I think Gollum should be easy because just Gollum. So, and he's showing in a TikTok-like scene. Now, if we listen to this, let's listen to it.
It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious.
All right, that's good. So now I'm just going to have to cut the last bit. I'm not going to cut everything, or I think I should. I'm not sure if I should. Now we're pushing. No, I think I don't really need to because the entire scenes combined are 37 seconds. So so far we're making it happen. So it's good. Now let me just take the cursor back, and I want to increase Gollum in size, and like this. And now we can go back to the scene. Let's actually, as a matter of fact, listen to everything from scratch.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo. It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious.
Okay, so now that's pretty good. Now let's move on to scene number 4. Let's first of all collide these scenes. Let's go to import. And then let's import V number 4, which is voiceover number 4. And let's take the voiceover, drag it here as well, and let's listen to this clip.
Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint.
Good. So the last bit is really what I want to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bit from the beginning because I want to keep that last bit for more. And then let me move this aside like this. And let's just, in the last bit, it needs to show. So I think I'm not going to cut anything of this scene, but I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit. Let's watch it again, hopefully.
Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic.
Okay, I think this needs to move like this so that we can see the entire eye. Yeah. All right, so let's go back. All right, so from here to here, there's Bilbo, and from here to here, there's Sauron. So I need to cut this part exactly here. Right, like this, and then cut the part. And then take the part where there's Bilbo, move it aside so that Bilbo can appear freely in the video. There it is. And let's watch it back again.
Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint.
Okay, that is pretty good. Now that is pretty good. But still, I think I'm going to have to cut the last part because we don't want to have an very, very huge excess. Let me remove this. And actually, I'm intending to do something good with this scene. So I'm going to split this scene, but I'm going to keep this only. I'm going to keep it at the top. And what I want to do with this, I want to reduce the opacity of it like this to kind of blend in with the next video. So if I take the other video, which is this, and if I move it back, it will rhyme perfect, right? So if I move this like this, notice what's going to happen is that this scene, there's going to be an overlay. So if all right, so let me just go back for a second. Let me zoom to see. This needs to be here. And as you can see, as you will see, there's going to be an overlay. Now let me zoom in quite a bit. And for this, I'm going to click, I'm going to reduce the opacity some more. And normally, if I basically just increase this, I'm going to click on this scene here of Frodo and decrease the opacity of it slightly so that there is some kind of overlay. No, I think not. Okay, so I think I'm just going to remove that scene. All right, so let's not complicate life. In this case, this scene, let me click, scale it down a little bit, move Frodo here in the area where we can see him, and then zoom in. And I think that should do the trick. So now let's upload the voiceover number 5. Click import. Let's go to V5. Put it, zoom out, drag V5, place it there, and then basically should be here. At the beginning, there's nothing. So as you can see, there's some emptiness. So let's remove that. And then take this, drag it here, and then let's start again.
The ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer's fears and memories.
Okay, I think this is good. I think we don't need to change anything about this scene. Except for we need to delete this part and this part because there's nothing. Then zoom out. Now there's only 2 more scenes. Let's place this here. And let's import a V number 6, which is voiceover number 6. Now let's import that. And it should be here. There you go. There you go. Now let's listen to this again.
Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark.
Okay, so now I just have to make this bigger. It's already centered, so it should be okay. All right, let's watch.
Bilbo removing the
All right, let me move Bilbo a little bit like this.
ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark.
And then I'm going to have to, from this scene, split. And then here, I should move so that we can see the eye of Sauron and the eye. And as you can see, this is better, right? So let's watch it again. And then I think we need to do some cutting at the end. There's only one last scene before we can add the transitions. So we need to cut this part. Click here as well, cut this part. Now we have cut 2 parts, remove, remove. Now the video is going to turn out to be less than 60 seconds, actually a lot less. Now this is the final scene. Let's drag it. And then for the final scene, I think we should just import the voiceover and center it. So V7, and then we can add the background music. So V7 first. Place it here. Let's watch.
And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo Smaug encounter.
This scene, we need to remove excess. So I'm going to remove the excess voice from here to here, remove, and then move the cursor right here, remove this bit, and then take this bit, get it closer to this, zoom out, and then there's another excess right here, as you can see. If I zoom in, we need to remove it as well. Remove, zoom out a bit, move the cursor, zoom out some more, remove, remove, and then take the sound, get it closer, and then let's see if that fits. Okay, so I think there's only one last bit that needs to be removed, but I'm not sure if we can extend this scene. I don't think we can. So what I'm going to do probably is I'm going to move this slightly like this, and let's see if we can extend this. Yes, we can. So we could extend that scene, except for I need to, at this part, I'm going to split, and this part of Smaug, I'm going to double click, move it to show the Smaug face, and then let's take this entire scene here, group it into one compound clip. This scene is already grouped, which is good. Let's go back. Here we have to group scene number 4 as well, because it's cut. Create a compound clip, move and see if there is any scene that's cut off. No, actually, all the other ones are good. So now if we listen, let's watch.
Against its dark influence. And that's the hidden depth in this.
Okay, I think this scene is the last, so we need to increase the size, move the ring in the center, like this, and then let's watch it again.
And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more.
All right, I think we could do better. At this part, we can split. And in this bit, we need to show Sauron's eye in the middle. So let me just zoom in. There is one bit here, this. Let's move it. And then I think we can just take everything and create a compound clip. Now let's watch it again. Okay, let's watch it again.
Reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious. Then a split.
Okay, let's go to the last scene. We might want to watch this.
It's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
There is that last subscribe, so we need to at the end we need to tell people to subscribe. So we need to put a button, an icon at the end, and I'll show you how to do it. But for now, let's just go ahead. And this at the end, we don't need this bit, this last part. So I need to bring the cursor here, click audio, remove that last bit, and that's it. We have a 32-second video, precisely 32-second video. Now let's add the transitions. So the transition, if you go here to transitions, there's a lot of transitions that we can add. So we're going to add for every scene a transition. Now there are pro transitions and free transitions. We're only going to be concentrated on free transitions. So I'm going to keep looking for a transition that I think would be pretty decent. All right, I think I'm going to go with vertical blur. So let me zoom in. Vertical blur is actually free, as you can see, vertical blur too. So you can drag it and drop it here in between. And let me just click on OK. That will create a transition, and you can actually decrease the size of the transition because the videos are not that big. And then let's do it again for scene number 2. And let's just decrease the size of that transition. Let's do it again for scene number 4. Decrease the size. Do it again. And decrease the size. Not that much, but decrease. And then do it again. and decrease the size. And then if we go, this is the last one, we do it again and decrease the size. All right, like this. Not that much, but just a little bit more, like this. There you go. So now if we watch...
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times.
Now let me pause this video. Let's go back here. Now here, there's the transition. It happens, but you just didn't see it. But it actually happened so quick. Now, when we download the video, we will be able to see it. But here, for instance, if I click...
That the ring tied to...
Now, normally we should go full screen so that you can see it better. Let's play it from the beginning.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo. It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious. Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint that the ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer's fears and memories. Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark influence. And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo-Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
All right, so now we only need to add the background music, the sounds. Let's start first of all by the sound. So I'm going to go back to Media, and then I'm going to click Import, and I'm going to add that not glitch, but it looks like like a punch or like a karate move. Here, the swoosh. That's the move. So if I take that, it's a very short one, and I'm going to add it right here. Right here, it's very short. Now, I think I'm going to click Control Z because I messed up. So let me just go here, zoom to the max so that I can have control over things, and then drag this here. And now let's drag the swoosh effect right over here. Now, okay, so the audio is added in the back. Now let me delete this part, and then delete this part here as well. And let's just keep the fresh, or let's just keep the swoosh. And now if we listen, it's going to be quite interesting.
Notice Smaug
right, you heard it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on swoosh, copy it, and then I want to duplicate it for the rest of them. So I'm going to copy and then come here to the edge, so the edge here. And then basically what you want to do, you can click Control V and just drag this like this. And then what you want to do, you want to repeat it again, repeat the process for this, and Control V, and then place it here like this. It's okay. This, we can make it smaller so that we can put this right here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to repeat the process again and again and again for the rest. So for instance, this one as well, I need to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just click swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. All right, so basically here, this one, that's pretty interesting. And let's just keep moving. There's not more left. So this one, I should just reduce the size a slight bit and place it here. And basically, let's just put this Control V, drag this here, and then let's go. You need to make sure you put the transition or the SFX sound exactly where the scene is at. Now let's reduce this in size so that it matches the swoosh effect. And then let's zoom out. Let me zoom out some more. And at the last bit, I want to go to stickers and I want to look for subscribe. So if you go to stickers, at the end, we want to put a sticker that says subscribe. All right, so we want to put it here at the end. Now there's all, but if we scroll down, we should find the subscribe sticker. I'm pretty sure we will. Or we could just here look at the left-hand side. There is this part that actually shows. Or I can just click here, all effects, audio, media. Okay, so I think I need to look for it. Let me just keep looking down. All right, there it is. Subscribe. Subscribe, share, follow. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we need to place it here and it will be placed, right? So, okay, so let me, right, there it is. Let me look.
Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
I'm not sure it was added. First of all, let me split this scene. Click on this scene and then drag the subscribe to it. Let me drag it here. There you go. Let me drag it here, and then I think that's, and let me make it smaller, and then we can make it bigger like this. Place it here. There you go. And when it comes to the animation, we could probably add an animation to it, like a bounce in or maybe something like a fade in or slide down. I'm just going to go ahead with bounce in like this, subscribe, and that's it. Now, the last part is adding the background music and then downloading. Now, I'm not sure if this is pro. No, it's not pro, so that's good. Because if everything is pro, if you want to download your video at the end, you're going to have a problem. Or if any element is pro, they're not going to let you download. So if I go to audio right here, I can go, not media. I can import the background audio or the background music, and we can reduce its sound so that it plays slowly in the background. This is the music, and it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes, yes. Let's drag it right here. Place it there. Let's zoom out, and then let's just basically take this and drag it to when it just fits. And then here, if you zoom to the max, this is a big track, so let's reduce its sound like this, and let's watch the video from scratch.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo. It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious. Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint that the ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer's fears and memories. Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark influence. And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo-Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
As you can see, that's pretty good, except for the fact we need to reduce the sound a little bit more. Let me listen to it again.
Middle-earth mysteries.
Okay, that's good. Now when you're ready, click here on the export button and then export your video. It will export. You can select a different resolution than 1080p, 4K if you'd like. And here, frame rate, I would go for 60 FPS. Codec, just leave it at H24. And basically what I want to do is I want to export this on my computer. So I'm going to place it in the file, a Bilbo file, and I'm going to export. And now it's going to start processing the video, and it's going to export it for us. All right, so once the video was actually created, you can click Open Folder, or you can just simply watch it here. I'm going to cancel because I want to watch the video that we've generated. And this is the video. If I click Open, 1, 2, 3. It's in 4K, by the way. It's in 4K, which is tremendous quality. I'm going to zoom out on it, and basically, let's just watch.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo. It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious. Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint that the ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer's fears and memories. Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark influence. And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo-Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
As you can see, that's the first video of our Middle-earth series. I'll see you in the next lecture in which we're going to go ahead. And basically, before uploading this video to YouTube, we need to go and create the intro for our next video that we're going to create. So once we have the 2 videos, we can go ahead and upload both of them to YouTube in the same video. See you in the next lecture. Hello and welcome in this lecture in which we're going to go ahead and create the intro for our video. So the intro, we're going to make this intro the basic intro for all the videos that you're going to create, assuming that you like this particular topic. But I'm going to go here to this website called Kyber AI, which basically allows you to do one of 3 things. And the first one is to create flipbooks based on an image or frame by frame if you have frames. So if you take frames, so you can take an image and turn it into frame, or video and turn it into frames. What happens then is that you turn that video into frames, and then you can turn these frames into animations, and you can combine those later in a video. Or you can just create a motion, right? Or you can transform an existing video, kind of like what's happening here. So I'm going to click the latter, and I want to upload the scene where there's Frodo and Isildur. I want to transform that scene into a scene that looks a cinematic. So if I go to scene number 1, not number 1, I think it's number 4. Yep, number 4. is the one. All right. No, actually, I have to check because if it's not, then we're in trouble. So let me go to scene number 3, perhaps. Scene number 3. Right. No. Let's go back. I think it's scene number 5. Okay, so scene number 5 should be it. So I want to transform that scene number 5 into an animated version of it. And then I want to create a beginning of our video. There it is. I'm going to click edit the prompt. Here, I just want to actually basically, I'm going to click here on steampunk. I want to create a video of Frodo and whatever, Isildur. Doesn't matter what you say here. It's not very important. And here, it's important that you choose the style. I'm going to choose the steampunk style. And I'm going to go to video, preview, and then here, I'm just going to go with version 2.0. Click generate previews. Now, this is going to consume a lot of credits. And actually here, it says request failed. Okay, so for some reason, the request has failed. I think we're going to have to select a different scene. Let me just go back to video settings. Let's go for maybe 5, generate. Again, credit failed. So basically, I think they have detected that we are using a movie scene, which I don't think they like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back here, click create a video. Perhaps I'm going to select a different scene. Maybe that at the end. Or probably simply just keep the last scene at the end. If this doesn't work, then no big deal. Let me go to Kyber, create video, click transform, video, and then I'm going to use the last video of Gandalf. I think is one of the best. Scene number 7. Hopefully this will work. I want to click of hand touching ring. Hopefully they don't say anything here. Select steampunk, video settings. Just keep everything as is. Generate previews. Again, so okay, so I think they detect that it's a movie and they're not really wanting to create it, or maybe here there's because there is a minor outage, but it's no problem that we couldn't be able to do this. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and focus on creating the script for our 5-minute video. So or actually less. Maybe we can make it less, but I'm going to say I want to create a 3-minute video, and in that video I will use only images created via AI and certain specific scenes from the movie. And I want it to be about Sauron and the mystery of the Ring of Power. You choose the topic, but make sure you do the same thing you did before, just that this time the video is 3 minutes. And if I hit enter, it's supposed to work. So right now, creating a 3-minute video of Sauron and the mystery of the Ring of Power using AI generated images and specific. Okay, so the start scene is start with an AI generated image of the ring in shadow with Mordor in the background. Okay, and the second scene is 10 to 30 second montage of AI generated images depicting Sauron forging the ring, interspersed with movie of the scenes being created. So that's a good mix of both. Scene number 4, show AI generated images of the different rings given to elves, dwarves, and men, highlighting their unique designs. Actually, I think in this scene it will be better if we use a scene from the movie. But anyways, use scenes from the movie showing the alliance of elves and men battling Sauron. Here, AI-generated images showing the ring's journey, Isildur's fall, Gollum in the cave, Bilbo finding the ring, movie scenes of Frodo with the ring, interspersed with AI-generated images of the Fellowship, a rapid montage of key movie moments, the journey through Middle Earth, the battles of the Ring's temptations, Okay, end with AI-generated images of Mount Doom, the Ring Destruction, and Peaceful Middle Earth. And that's it. Closing scene, AI-generated image of the Serene Shire and a closing book. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and in the next scene, in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to walk through this. Now, I'm going to show you how, if you want to generate an AI-generated scene, how you can do it. But this will take some creativity from you to go and generate the pieces. Obviously, ChatGPT describes everything here. All you need to do is to create those pieces, and that's what we're going to do in the next lecture. See you then. Hello there, and welcome back in this lecture in which we're going to go ahead and start creating the pieces for our video. So I'm only going to show you how to create the first pieces, right? So I would like you to go ahead and create a file. Mainly, it should be in the same file as the one that we've created, the short. And this time I'm going to say YouTube video pieces. There you go, YouTube video pieces. And then inside of that file, you create a file that you call scene number 1, or from 0 to 10 seconds, whichever way you'd like to call it. So it depends on you. Now, in this case, 0 to 8 seconds, that's what I would like to call it. And they're saying to us here in the first scene that we should start with an AI-generated images of the ring in shadow with Mordor in the background. And what better way to do it but through Leonardo? So I'm going to go to Leonardo, use the photo reel. At the same time, we can also utilize Midjourney if someone watching here has Midjourney. So basically, I'm going to try in both Leonardo and Midjourney, and I'm just going to have to hit the enter button. Obviously, we need to wait about 20 or 30 seconds for the images to be generated. All right, so we have the first images being generated. These ones are really nice. So I'm going to download this one just in case, and let's go to Leonardo to see, or to Midjourney to see. I think the one that was generated by Midjourney is a lot better. So I'm going to go with this one right here. So if we look at this one is definitely better. The problem is that it doesn't look like the Ring of Power, okay? But this one does. So I'm going to have to go with the one by Midjourney, even though the other one also looks great. So if you go to your downloads, you'll find the download there. I'm just going to go ahead and drag it there. So now that we've created our first image, we need to go ahead and create the second images. Now, in the second scene, a montage of AI-generated images depicting Sauron forging the ring, intersected with the movie scenes of the ring being created. All right, so I'm going to go and look for Sauron making the Ring of Power, and at the same time, you should go and basically take a recording, screen recording of Sauron making the ring. You'll find the videos on YouTube, plenty of videos of Sauron making the ring, and take a recording of that as well. Now, at the same time, we need to go and do the same thing with Leonardo's Midjourney. So Sauron making, imagine first, /imagine, Sauron making the Ring of Power, hit enter. And then here, let's go back to check our images. All right, so here, as you can see, these are really good. But let's just wait also for Midjourney. I think Midjourney can have a pretty better output in this case, because Midjourney, in these kinds of images, they're great. Sauron, the Dark Lord. I think that if we use the word Sauron, the Dark Lord, forging the Ring of Power inside of the volcanic Mount Doom. Generate. Let's copy this prompt as well. Try it as well with Midjourney. So copy. Going back to Midjourney. Now here, as you can see, these scenes are good, but they're not that good. I'm going to click Imagine or /Imagine and basically paste in the Sauron prompt. All right, so here we have some pretty decent scenes. Let's look at the Midjourney generated ones as well. Okay, I think the one that was generated, these ones that were generated using Leonardo are much better, especially this one and this one as well. Not too bad. Let's see the other ones as well. All right, so here, looking like Sauron. All right, I think I'm going to go with this one right here. And then create another file, right? And in that file, you should put the image of Sauron, and then you should also put the video of Sauron forging the ring. So all of it should be around 20 seconds because it's from 10 to 30 seconds. So it should be 30 seconds. Now, I'll show you, because this video that we're going to create, we're not going to create it using CapCut. We're going to create it using Canva. We have to do it using Canva because I think Canva is going to go much faster. And I'll show you how to do it. Maybe we can download the video from Canva and do some edits, but we're not really going to use CapCut for this particular video. CapCut, I think, in terms of YouTube Shorts, is one of the best. But for this one, I'm going to use Canva, and it's for free as well. Now, from the scene 30 to 50 seconds, we have, let me create a file for it first. From 30 to 50 seconds, we have show an AI generated of the different rings given to the elves, dwarves, and men. The different rings. So I'm just going to copy this prompt as is. And it's going to generate 4 images anyway. So I'm going to take all 4. Or normally it's just 3 families, elves, men, and dwarves. So basically it should be 3 kinds of rings. But let me take this prompt as well. Imagine. And as well paste in the prompt. Enter. And just wait. All right, so I see some beautiful images. I'm going to download this one. And now we have one. Let's go back here. Now, these ones generated by Midjourney are not really that great. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to download 3 from Leonardo, this one as well, and this one as well. And now we have all 3 images of the rings. And I think that also here we should also show, no, we should just show the image of images, 3 different images. That's good. We have them now. So let me go ahead, take these images of the rings, the elven rings, the dwarvish rings, and the men rings, which later on became the Nazgul. Let me copy paste that there. So from 50 to 70 seconds, now this is another one. And in this one, we should use scenes from the movie. These are just scenes, no AI. So here we should use scenes from the movie. You should look for the battle between the elves of Sauron and take 20 seconds as a screen recording. And then here from 70 to 100 seconds. Right, from 70 to 100 seconds, we have an AI-generated image of the ring's journey, Isildur's fall, Gollum in the cave, Bilbo finding the ring. Okay, so I don't think we need to use any scenes here. AI images, right, Isildur's fall. Right, Isildur's fall. I think we can generate this using Leonardo. Let's go place this here. And the good thing is that we can generate this image and then go back after the other image, Gollum in the cave. We could also generate that while the other image is being generated. Paste, generate. And then what I can do as well, I can go back for the last one, Bilbo Baggins finding the ring. Bilbo Baggins finding the ring of power. Generate. So now we have all images being generated. I'm not going to use Midjourney in this case. All right, so I think one of the best images that depicts Isildur's fall should be this. So I'm going to download this image, and then let's look for the other ones. All right, these scenes of Gollum are not so bad, but I think I'm going to have to go with this one right here, even though he has clothes, but I think it's not too bad. But maybe it could be that, okay, this is a Gollum scene before he no longer had clothes. So probably I can go with this one, right? And then Bilbo finding the ring. Let's see here. Bilbo finding the ring. I think this one is good. Let me download that. As you can see, the images are quite accurate. They're not looking exactly the same, but they're pretty accurate. So maybe in the future we're going to have AI movies. Now we have all these scenes. Let's move on to the next scenes. So let me just download these scenes right here. Go back. As you can see, this is not easy work. It will take work. But as you get the hang of the process, it will become easier for you. And like this, you can create 1 to 2 videos a day. And like these other people are doing. So basically what they do is they create a lot of videos. But they do 1 to 2 videos a day. That's what they do. And that's how it works. Now this here, a scene, movie scenes with Frodo with the ring intersected with AI image generated the Fellowship. Okay, so I'm going to go here, generate an image of the Fellowship of the Ring. And hit generate. Here, I'm afraid from 130 to 160 seconds, we need to show a rapid montage. So you need to take separate recordings, a recording of some battles, and put them up all in, make sure that all the combined recordings are not more than 30 seconds. And then we have this, but obviously not so much. So here, the Fellowship of the Ring. I would like to have the Fellowship of the Ring, this picture from the back. I think it would be much better because we can't really see their faces and it doesn't impact the video. And so let's go back right here and copy this picture, come back, and then paste it here. All right, so right now for this particular 130 to 160, I'm going to have to do it by myself. You also have to do it by yourself, so just so you know. And then we have 160 to 180, and with an AI-generated image of Mount Doom, the destruction of the ring, and a piece of Middle-earth. Okay, all right, so that scene should have we should have 3 images in that one, so we'll generate all 3. Now, let's access this file, even though it's empty. Let's go back to ChatGPT, AI-generated image of Mount Doom. All right, Mount Doom, let's go back, place Mount Doom here, paste, go back, and then here, the ring's destruction. Right, let's just go back here and place it, paste, generate as well, and then a peaceful Middle-earth, that also is a scene, and then basically paste and generate. So now we should have all the images generated all at once, and then we should close an AI-generated image of a serene shire and a closing book. Okay, I think that's not bad. So let me just go ahead. A serene shire and a closing book. Let's just go and generate that. All right, so this is Mount Doom, even though it doesn't really look like Mount Doom, but I'm going to go with this one right here. Download, and then let's wait for the others. I think this particular image is not bad. Let me download it. Don't look for things to be perfect or the way you want it. You just want images to depict something, okay? So, and you want them to be good and to depict the message. They don't have to be perfect, 100%. And I think this image should be a good image for the Shire. Let's go to the other images. Now let's download all of them, or just simply drag them into their respective file. Place. Now we have one more, which is all right. Yeah. Okay. So the scene of the Shire, I think that should be in a file of itself at the end. Okay. So I'm gonna need to create a file for it. Right. Let me just go back, create a file, call it closing. And then in that closing file, we shall put the scene of the Shire. So I'm going to cut this, go back, click, place. Right, now here, a peaceful Middle-earth, Mount Doom, the ring destruction, a peaceful Middle-earth. I think a peaceful Middle-earth was the last one, but this one could apply for the Shire. But anyways, I'm going to download this one. Click, and then copy or cut, go back. I'm going to go back here to this particular folder, place this. So now we have all the scenes. Only thing you need to do is to record the videos for the other scenes, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. And I'll see you in the next lectures. Hello there and welcome back. So I hope that you went ahead and taken some screen recordings of the scenes. Right now, we need to go ahead and create the voiceovers for these scenes, and then we're going to go ahead and create the video. So the first voiceover right here is in the heart of Mordor and that stuff. So we're going to copy this into 11 Labs, which is the software I've shown you not too long ago, which will help you to create the voiceover that we're looking at. So in this case, we want to use the same voice that we used from earlier, but if you want to use another voice, it's your prerogative, so you can choose a different voice. So I'm going to add this, and this time I'm just going to remove those parts that are at the beginning, generate. And at the same time, I want to go back, copy the second voiceover, which is created by Sauron, or the Dark Lord Sauron, go back.
In the heart of Mordor, forged in Mount Doom, lies the secret of Middle-earth's greatest threat, Sauron's Ring of Power.
Right, let me regenerate. I didn't like this one.
In the heart of Mordor, forged in Mount Doom, lies the secret of Middle-earth's greatest threat, Sauron's Ring of Power.
All right, so this is voiceover number 1. Now let's add voiceover number 2. Generate.
Created by the Dark Lord Sauron, this ring contained his cruelty, malice, and will to dominate all life.
Now, let me just go ahead and regenerate, except for the fact I'm going to separate Sauron so that it basically knows that it is Sauron. So it will spell Sau and it will spell Ron. Hopefully, let's generate again.
Created by the Dark Lord Sauron, this ring contained his cruelty, malice, and will to dominate all life.
Okay, so this is good. Now, this is the voiceover number 2, and it's hardly 20 seconds. So I think we need to add more to it because it needs to be 30 seconds. So what I'm going to say, rewrite those voiceovers again and make sure that they will be exactly at the length suggested. All right, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to say those voiceovers are too short. They will not be exactly the same size. They should be longer. All right, so now while it is writing, to check that it is good, let's go and copy the first voiceover now, and let's generate and see if that's going to be 10 seconds. So it should be in 10 seconds. Let's generate.
In the shadowed lands of Mordor, amidst fire and darkness, the One Ring was forged by Sauron, the embodiment of power and terror, destined to seek dominion over Middle-earth.
Okay, this one is 10 seconds, so that's good. The second one should be 20 seconds, so let's see if that's accurate. Now, don't forget that you can always reprompt ChatGPT to bend it to your will, because it will, in most cases, will not be 100% accurate. But if you rebounce and say that should change, it will. Right. So this should be 20 seconds.
This ring, a masterwork of evil, held the essence of Sauron, its creator. A vessel of his malice and will, it was designed to control and corrupt, weaving a web of power that ensnared the hearts of all beings, from the mightiest kings to the most humble of creatures.
This is 15 seconds. I think we're going to have to increase it a little bit by ourselves. So we're going to say the evil of Sauron could not be contained. Right, let's see now, right? Evil that doesn't sleep. Let's just generate.
This ring, a masterwork of evil, held the essence of Sauron, its creator. A vessel of his malice and will, it was designed to...
So I'm going to pause. Now let's see this one here. Hopefully it's 20 seconds. If not, we can make it. By the way, the voiceover as well impacts. If the person behind the voiceover talks fast, then it will not be exactly 20 seconds. But let's generate for this one and see.
Gifted to the rulers of elves, dwarves, and men were rings of power, each crafted to entice and beguile. But the One Ring, master of all, lay hidden, a silent watcher, its presence unknown, yet its influence felt across the vast expanses of Middle-earth, binding all to its will.
This one is 18 seconds, so that's not bad. It's close to 20. As long as it's close to 20, if it's 18 or 19 or even 17, it's quite good. But the moment it is very low or much lower than that, then we have to make sure it is what we're looking for. So here, I'm not sure I downloaded this. Right, so...
Gifted to the rulers of elves, dwarves...
Okay, now let's paste in the new one. Generate.
In the age-old war of the Last Alliance, elves and men united in a desperate battle against the dark forces.
This one is good, so let's just move to the next one. I think it did a good job this time after I prompted it to do so. This one, let's generate as well.
Lost in the annals of time, the ring endured, a silent agent of chaos. From Isildur's tragic...
Okay, this is good. Now let's move on to this. The burden of copy. You can also, by the way, you can make the scenes all movie scenes if you'd like. Now let's copy this, but I think the combination of AI and movie is good. Let's generate, see this.
The burden then fell to Frodo Baggins, whose perilous quest to destroy the ring united the most unlike.
This is also good. Now let's move on. Their journey. As you can see, it takes time, but this time that it takes now, it would have taken you a lot more time. So I think that we owe respect to the YouTubers that create this. For those of you that are watching, they really put some hard work behind this, okay?
Their journey was marked by treacherous paths, epic battles.
Okay, that's good. Now let's add the last one in the end. It was the fiery chasms. Okay, let's just copy, go back, paste, generate.
In the end, it was in the fiery chasms of Mount Doom where it was forged, that the ring met its destruction.
Okay, now we only have, now this is the only one, right? So that's, I think, the last one. 160, no, I'm not sure. Let me just go back. I think there is a closing voiceover, which I didn't put. So let's make that the closing voiceover. And then we are done.
The tale of the ring is a testament to hope, courage, and the enduring power of friendship.
Okay, so now that we have the voiceovers, I want you to go to canva.com, right? So go to canva.com and let's start the process of creating our video. Okay, so now that we have everything, canva.com is our destination. All right, so now what I want you to do is click here on create a video or a design, and then select video or search for it. It should be 1920 by 1080 pixels. By the way, once we finish creating the video, we're going to add we're going to add the captions to it using Pictory at the end. Now, what we want to do first, we want to create an introduction to the video with a scene of Gandalf at the very beginning. And we're going to do it in 5 seconds and just adding some music to it. But let's leave the music to the end. But now what we're going to upload is that scene that I've basically taken a screen recording of Gandalf, which I think is the scene number 7. Yes. And that scene should be an introductory section. This is it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically set the video to the background. And then here, I'm going to go to not elements, but if we go back to Canva, there's the banner that we have created. We can go back to it. If not, the banner, I think, is already opened here, so I don't need to open it. And that's why leave your windows open. And what I want to do, I want to copy this grouped element and come back here at this very, very position, split this, take the slider, click on this position in the middle, and then right click, split. Now we have 2 scenes. And on the second scene, what you want to do, you want to put the title of our channel, which is Ringside Tales. And you want to make this a little bit bigger. And then what you want to do, you want to just place it right here at the top. And what I'm going to do is the following. We're going to go and look for maybe something like a light. I think if I go right here, let me take this, and I just don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it anyways. I'm going to put one here, and if I copy, I'm going to go back and position it exactly at the other side, and position it backward. And now let's play this. All right, so this is a pretty decent looking basic first introduction. So now I'm going to add a slide, and I want you to do the same thing. This slide, let's make it 30 seconds, which is the biggest length you can make for a slide. And then what we want to do, we want to start uploading our elements. Now, the first element we're going to upload is the voiceover of the first scene. So if I go here, YouTube video pieces, that's why you organize your job in files. This is the voiceover. And when you upload your voiceover, you can drag it. Make sure that the cursor is precisely at the very first moment. Okay? Because if you don't do that, it's going to be misplaced. Now let's place it exactly there. We can trim the other part later. Now let's
In
listen.
the shadowed lands of Mordor, amidst...
Okay, so the first scene, we basically only have 1 or 2 images. We have the photo reel of the One Ring. That's it. We don't have anything else. And so what we're going to do, we're going to add this, okay? We're going to add this picture right here. So I'm going to click, actually, as a matter of fact, from here directly, I can drag the image into Canva, or you can upload it. And I'm going to just place this here. And what you want to do with the picture, set the image as background. And then let's click edit the image and then basically add some contrast, add some saturation, a little bit of light, and then click on animate right here. And the animation I'm going to add is the breathe animation so that it looks mobile. It looks like it's moving. It's not, but it looks like it's moving. And right at the end, bring your cursor and then click right here. Bring the cursor here and then click split page and then remove the excess part. And now we have our first element. Now let's move on to the next one. So the next one, the next seconds is basically 0 to 10. Now here we have a bit of work. We have Sauron forging the ring, 3. All right, so this should be also 30 seconds. So if I click here at the timing, make this 30 seconds. And then basically let's start uploading. So as a matter of fact, I don't need to upload. I'm just going to upload the voiceover first so that we can put it there. It should be 20 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds, this is the scene. So let's place the voiceover exactly right here at the beginning. And then let's go back to get our elements, which are the images and the video. Let's start with the images first. Put the images, and then what you were looking to do, you're looking to put the first image, and then you set it up as background, and then you click on the image. Now it's already in breathe mode. So let's just make sure it is. Click breathe again. And then here, right here, you want to split the page. And on this page, you want to delete the image from it. Now, actually, not like that. Let's go back or click Control Z, detach the image. And then you can actually, let me just Control Z again because I did it on the wrong slide. This one set the image as background. Let's move on to the next one. Detach image from background and then remove it now. And then take the next image and then again, set the image as background and then split another part like this, maybe just a little bit like this, split, and then here I should click, right click, detach the image from background, remove, and then put the last part, and then we can put a video of Sauron himself. So now let's just move it like this. Now, like I said, don't try to make this perfect. Now let me click on this, detach image, remove, and then upload the file like this and go to the video of Sauron forging the Ring of Power. And basically what you're looking to do is just drag and drop the video of Sauron and place it right here. And it should be quite large. Set the video as background. And I think we could just click on these ones and basically maybe just make them a little bit lower. This one also is 4 seconds, should be maybe 2. And I think that is more like it. So now we can crop this, or I can just simply bring my cursor back here like this, and then just split the image and remove that excess part. And now we're going fine. So now let's add another slide. Go here, 30 seconds. And it's just the same process over and over. So it's just like baking bread. Once you know how to do this, you can do this for multiple videos. And it's if you do it every day, one video a day, you will have a channel with 365 videos. So all it takes is one video a day. Now let's add the third voiceover, and then let's start adding the images. But for the third voiceover, I'm going to evenly split the pages, evenly. And then at the last bit, I'm going to split the page here, delete this bit, and come down here. And then let's start uploading the images one by one. So if we go, these are the elven rings, the dwarvish rings, and the men rings. Now let's add the first image here. Set images background, click here as well. Add this one. Set images background, click here as well. Add this image, set images background. Now we can take care of the animations later if there is any issue regarding the animations. Now let's click 30 seconds as well for this. Upload files. Let's move to V4, voiceover number 4. And we're getting closer. Now, once you have your elements, it doesn't take that much longer after it. So it will be pretty much easier. Now let me just do the same thing from here. Drag the voiceover at the beginning. It's quite slippery. Now let me click upload. Now what do we have here? We have, now this is voiceover number 4. Okay, so I've mistakenly added the rings here as well, but normally this is just a scene of men and elves in an alliance. Nothing to it. This is easy. So should be loading. Let's put it, and then let's set it up as a background video. And then let's cut the last part like this. Split. There's this part. Remove. Again, click plus. Go here. 30 seconds. And then click upload. And then what we're looking to do is basically go out. And then go out again. And then from 70 to 100 seconds, we have this voiceover. We have 3 images. We're going to split the scene in between them. Now let's just put this here first. Click here, split, click here, split, and then click at the last bit and split, right, like this. Remove this bit. And now let's click here. Let's add our images. So the image of Bilbo, Isildur, and Gollum. And I'm pretty sure that you've seen people doing this and you wonder how is this done. Now you know how this is done from scratch. So really from the scratch of the scratch. Let's set this image as background as well. Now let me click here on add page. Okay. Now let's go back. Now this, I forgot to put this at 30 seconds. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go to upload files. As you can see, the process gets easier, right? As you go, the process really does get easy. V6. Now in V6, we have one image and the rest is just, all right, so this is it. Let's place this here. We can also drag the music here as well. That's a good suggestion from Canva. Now let's upload the files. Now what files should we have? So a photo reel of the Fellowship of the Ring, and then we have movie scenes of Frodo and Gandalf. I think we should have this one first. So let's add this one first, place it down here. And then what I'm looking to do is set the image as background and cut a bit. And then in this one, I'm going to basically right click, detach, remove, and click upload. And then what we want to do, we want to add this is a movie scene between Frodo and Gandalf. Back when they discovered the ring in the first movie or the first part. Let's place this right here. And then let's set the image, the video as background. And then let's click right here with the cursor, split the page, remove the last bit, and then, no, remove it again. It's quite stubborn. All right, finally. It was removed, but I still have excess. So let's split again. Remove this last bit, click plus. Now let's upload the files. First. Let's go back, close. Click here, 30. Enter, good. Let's move on, right? So there's not much left. And then we need to add a background music, which by the way, we can use the same background music from Pixabay. I think if that is our main music, I think that would be perfect. Now let's add this right over here. Okay, that's good. And then let's click on upload files. As you can see, it functions pretty much like the way CapCut functions. So they also Canva have an all-encompassing video editor. To be honest, their video editor really is great if you're looking to create some interesting videos, especially that they have the graphics and everything you need in one place. It's really great. It has some limitations as to some other things that it doesn't have access to, but it's really one of the best things you can have is Canva. Now let's click on plus. I don't think there's much left. Now, I think if we click 130, no, this one is we have 160 to 180. And okay, so now if I click, it should be 30 seconds. Now, the reason I'm doing 30 seconds is because I want to have visions that I know what to cut. Now, let's go back here, go back, and there's not much left. Just be patient. V8, voiceover number 8, and then we can skip. Now, let's drag this here, like this. Drag. There you go. Upload files. And basically here, let me just go ahead and add all of these images. I don't know why at the beginning it seems like the voice is fading. Okay, but let's just not care too much there. Now let's split this part and split this part. And the last part, it's okay, we can just show one image. Let's split this part as well, remove this. I think this needs to be a little bit extended. Right, okay. And now click this, add this, right, like this. Click here, add this, like this. And then click here and add the last scene, which is the scene of peace. And we have one last bit, which is also 30 seconds. Upload the closing file, the closing sound. And then, of course, we're going to have to watch the video. So closing, closing. There's not much left. So it's a 3-minute video, to be precise. At 3 minutes, precisely 3 minutes. And closing. Now, let me just do one thing here. I just want to check something because I don't know if it's the case that at the beginning of these voiceovers, there is no sound. Let me check. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
The tale of the ring is a testament to hope, courage, and...
All right, so there's no problem with the voiceovers. Okay. Now let me click upload. And let's just go ahead now and add the final picture to this summit. Or just summit this. Now this is a picture supposedly of the Shire. I could have done better here, but it's okay. Now let me just at the end and click split. And then you could add a last bit here. You could split the last part, 2.6 seconds. You could go right there. To elements, look for something that says subscribe. And we can take a button that says subscribe. For instance, like this one. Doesn't need any animations. It's already animated. So that's the good thing. And you could put it right here at the bottom or right here in the middle. Whatever you want to put it. And it's going to play like an animation. Now let's go back to the very beginning of the video. The very, very beginning. And at the very beginning, I want to go to uploads. And I want to upload the background music. Okay, the background music of our video. So if I go right back, the background music that we use for YouTube short, which is like the mystery unfold, I want to click and it will add right here. Now, it didn't overshadow our voiceovers. If you click right at this edge, like this, I want to split, right? So I want to click here and I want to click on the music and split the audio so that we have two audios. Let me just drag this one here. And let me just drag this one here, like this. Now in the first audio, I want to make it basically a little bit full sound. And I want to click on the audio. Here, if you click on the sound, you have access to change this to maybe, I think 50. No, not 500, just 50. 50, not 5,000. And then here, I'm going to click the other sound. And we want to change this down to maybe 3 or something like that because we don't want it to be overshadowing. Now you can click the share button and you can click download and we can download this in HD. Hopefully we didn't remove any part. Yeah, I think we need to just extend the last bit. So I'm going to click on the downloads and just close this and I'm going to click this element, click copy the track, or just click right here and click right and then duplicate track and it will ultimately duplicate. And now we have our video. Now let me just make sure that we didn't miss anything or that we didn't remove a scene. Right, I think that should be fine. So let me go ahead and click download, quality 4K, download. And while it's downloading, we can watch our video. Now, while I'm recording, it gets difficult. While I'm recording, we're not going to have the full experience. We have to wait for it to be downloaded so that we can watch it together. And that's why I'm going to have to pause this video. And in the next lecture, we're going to watch the video. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and add captions to it. So see you in the next lecture. Hello there and welcome back in this lecture in which we're going to go ahead and proceed by watching the video. Then I'm going to take you to create the captions for the video using Pictory. But as of now, let's watch the video.
In the shadowed lands of Mordor, amidst fire and darkness, the One Ring was forged by Sauron, the embodiment of power and terror, destined to seek dominion over Middle-earth. This ring, a masterwork of evil, held the essence of Sauron, its creator. A vessel of his malice and will, it was designed to control and corrupt, weaving a web of power that ensnared the hearts of all beings, from the mightiest kings to the most humble of creatures. The evil of Sauron could not be contained, evil that doesn't sleep. Gifted to the rulers of elves, dwarves, and men were rings of power, each crafted to entice and beguile. But the One Ring, master of all, lay hidden, a silent watcher, its presence unknown, yet its influence felt across the vast expanses of Middle-earth, binding all to its will. In the age-old war of the Last Alliance, elves and men united in a desperate battle against the dark forces of Sauron. On the slopes of Mount Doom, amidst steel and sorcery, they fought to thwart the spread of darkness. Yet, even in apparent defeat, the ring's sinister influence lingered, a spectre over the land. Lost in the annals of time, the ring endured, a silent agent of chaos. From Isildur's tragic downfall to the murky depths of Gollum's cave, and eventually into the unsuspecting hands of Bilbo Baggins, the ring wove its dark tale, leaving a trail of corruption and despair. The burden then fell to Frodo Baggins, whose perilous quest to destroy the ring united the most unlikely of heroes. Together, they formed the Fellowship, a band of warriors, wizards and wanderers, bound by a common cause to end Sauron's reign and shatter the chains of the ring's enslavement. Their journey was marked by treacherous paths, epic battles, and the ever-present temptation of the ring's deceitful promise of power. Each step was a testament to their courage, a battle against the looming shadow of doubt and the seductive whisper of absolute power that the ring offered. In the end, it was in the fiery chasms of Mount Doom where it was forged that the ring met its destruction. With its demise, Middle-earth was freed from the looming spectre of Sauron's tyranny. Peace reigned once more, a hard-earned victory against the darkness that had sought to engulf the world. The tale of the ring is a testament to hope, courage, and the enduring power of friendship. This is the mystery and legacy of the Ring of Power.
All right, so now let's go ahead and watch the other YouTube short.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when
No, that's not it. This is just the Blue Wizard. This is the YouTube short. Okay, this is the YouTube short.
Ever wondered why Bilbo reacts so strongly when Smaug says precious? Let's debunk this in 60 seconds. Notice Smaug emphasizing precious 3 times. This triggers a memory in Bilbo. It reminds him of Gollum, who also obsessively called the ring precious. Then a split-second flash of Sauron. Why? It's a cinematic hint that the ring tied to Sauron manipulates its bearer's fears and memories. Bilbo removing the ring symbolizes his struggle against its dark influence. And that's the hidden depth in this epic Bilbo-Smaug encounter. Subscribe for more Middle-earth mysteries.
All right, so as you can see, that is it. So now I want to take you to Pictory AI, which is a software that can add captions to your videos. Except for when you download the video, it will contain watermark if you don't have the Pro plan. But for that, I have an option for you. So if you want to maybe take this seriously and you want to have a membership, I have an affiliate business or not. Actually, I'm affiliated with Pictory, so they give me 20% off. Just in case you're going to purchase it anyway. So the code for it is Ruane, ROUANE 89. ROUANE 89. And if you use the link in the resources of this lecture, you shall benefit from 20% off in case you are serious about getting Pictory, because it will help you do a lot of stuff. In this particular case, what I want to use the Pictory AI for is to basically add captions to my video. So to do that, I'm going to go here. And basically what you need to do is here we have the option to edit video using text. So that's what we want to do. I'm going to click on proceed. And basically here you either add the YouTube video link or you upload your video if you have it in your computer. In our case, I have it in my computer. Now, this account that I'm using is not the real account that I have. This one, I have a free trial, so it might not work. But if I use my own account, which I have a membership with, obviously I'm an affiliate, so I have to have a membership. Basically, they don't give you, or they don't, you're not going to download the video with a watermark. So if you click upload the video, what happens now, or what's going on in the back end is that Pictory is actually basically reading the video and putting it into a script. And the good thing about Pictory is that they're so accurate. So if your video is 10 minutes and you're really afraid that if you're using Adobe Premiere and if you want to caption the video with AI in Adobe Premiere or using CapCut, in most cases, they don't really do a good job because AI doesn't do a good job in captioning. But this one is really surprising to me how good they are, because in most cases that I've used it, it really is very accurate to the letter when it comes to captioning the video. And that's really what you need. Now, once it gets to 100%, it's going to give us a choice to select the type of captions that we want to add, where do we want to add them, whether that be in the center or at the bottom. And so we're going to do that in the next lecture. All right, so here they're asking us to remove filler words, but I'm not sure we have any filler words. And when it comes to the silences, we really don't have that many silences. So I'm just going to keep clicking next here because I just want to move on. And right now, I want to go and click Customize Video. And it will leave the video exactly in the same size, which you uploaded it at. And it will take you right here, in which it's going to give you the option to customize the video. And that's where the magic happens, because that's where we will add the captions for free, right? For basically free. And except for when you download the video, it has the watermark. But if you have the plan, you should be able to do what you want to do. The plan is limited, so it's not perfect, but it is really the best investment that you can do if you're starting a faceless YouTube channel. I think that Pictory is a must, right, for people that are starting it, because at one point in time, you're going to get tired of adding captions manually, because you can add captions manually by just adding them as a text. But in this case, it's better to have a software that's doing it for you. So if we go here to Styles, click on Styles, and then here you click on Styles Library, and that's where basically the captions are at. Now, if you scroll, you can see that there's a lot of caption types. Just pick one that you like, that you think is going to look good with this particular type of video. Now, in my case, I think this one is pretty decent. Okay, so I'll go with it. And basically here, it's at the center, so maybe if we can find something at the bottom that looks similar, I'm going to go with it. But if not, I'm just going to go with that one. Let's just keep looking, keep looking. Okay, so I think this one is the closest one to it. So I'm going to click this one. Okay. This is the one. And what I want to do is I want to apply this to all scenes by clicking Apply to All Scenes. What will happen is it's going to apply this to all the scenes that we have. And that's what we're looking for. So we're looking for adding this to all scenes. Now here in this particular one, I don't think that's not really a scene where there's no text here, so that's why nothing was applied. And once you're done, you can preview, or you can just simply download. In my case, I would just download the video. Hopefully there will be no watermarks. I'm not sure, but just hopefully under the free preview, they don't show the watermarks. And in the next video, we're going to go ahead and basically upload the videos to YouTube, both of them, the YouTube short as well as the other one. But first, before uploading them, we're going to have to design the thumbnail for the video. And that's not going to take us that much time. I'm only going to take inspiration from any one of this YouTube channel's videos. And we're going to add Sauron's picture, the one that we generated via AI. I think that would do well. So if we go here, you can see Sauron the Necromancer and all that stuff. What we're going to do something quite similar. And I'm going to show you how to do that in the next lecture. And welcome. Now, as Pictory is generating the thumbnail or generating the captions for the video, we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to generate the thumbnail. For that, I'm going to use one image from these Sauron images that we generated using Leonardo. I'm going to go to create a design, and then here, select YouTube thumbnail template on Canva, and then basically just upload the image of Sauron. That's the first part that we're going to do. There you go. Now I'm just going to drag this and drop it. There it is. Now we will have the Sauron picture. There it is. So now in order to make this a lot better, I'm going to go to Elements and I'm going to look for lava. Okay, I'm going to look for lava. And then if we go to Photos, I'm pretty sure we can find some pretty interesting images of lava. I think this one is pretty good. I'm going to set the image as background, but click the image first and then make it a little bit, not this image. I'm going to take this image and I'm going to reduce the transparency of it so that we can see through the lava. And now we have an image of Sauron and melting. It looks like he's basically inside of the lava. Now let's move it aside like this, making sure it appears quite well. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do slightly like this. And then I'm going to take this image exactly as it is, duplicate it, duplicate one on top of the other, make sure this is exactly juxtaposed. All right, so let me do one thing. I'm going to click this one here, make sure it's exactly the same frame, select them both. Okay, so I think this one needs to go down a little bit. And I can select them both now and then place them here. And what I will do with the second image that's on top of the other, I'm going to increase its transparency and click on that image. And basically, I want to edit the image and remove the background from it so that I can keep Sauron looking sharp, but the background of him looks like a volcano. So let me click Background Remover. This is just a tactic of putting an image on top of an image. You don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I'm pretty much advanced with Canva. So, and you don't have to do this again, like I said. So this is the image. If I click Apply, right now, as you can see, we only have one part that has Sauron and the other part has Sauron, but it's basically Sauron. But we have to click it as well and reduce its transparency like this a little bit more, and then we can put the Sauron right now. Let's go back. Now I can lock it, and then let's put this image of Sauron. Okay, so this is messed up. Let me just unlock, and then click Select, and put it where it's supposed to be. Make sure it's exactly right where it is, and then lock Sauron right now. Now we can probably add another effect. So if we click Edit the Image, I can go to Shadows, add some shadows here. I can add a golden effect to the glow effect of Sauron. So if I go here to the image, I can click the color and I can go for maybe this type of yellowy color. I can add it. I can increase the blur, increase the transparency, increase the size. As you can see, it's pretty good. And apply. Hopefully the image will grow back to its original size. They didn't, so I'm going to have to grow it myself. Like this, slightly, ever so slightly. And it's still not entirely where it's supposed to be. So let me place this here, like this, a little bit more. And then let's just continue growing it, right, like that. Okay, like this. I think I need to grow it a little bit more to fit. All right, now it fits. Just place it like this, and then lock the position. So now we have Sauron, we have that stuff. Now let's go back to Elements or Uploads, and I think I'm going to have the ring right here. So I'm going to go and take a picture of the ring, and ideally it should be a picture of the real ring. This one here, and I'm going to edit the image of the ring, remove the background of the image, and then put the ring as if he's cooking it on top of something. So that would look pretty interesting. Let's just crop it while it is doing its job. Let's do like this, like this, like this. Increase or decrease the size, place the ring here, rotate it slightly like this. And then what I'm intending to do is apply first, edit the image of the ring, add some contrast, add some light to it, and add some saturation. There you go. Now I can lock the position. Now let me go here. I'm going to go here and look for a frame. And I would like to take this circular frame, grow it, make it bigger. And then what we're looking to do with this is basically perhaps position it like this one. Okay, I think I need to crop it from this side. All right, doesn't work. Okay, so let me try pick another frame. All right, so I'm going to go with this frame, as weird as it sounds, but I'm going to go with it because it gives this particular effect. Especially if I make it bigger, it gives this effect that I want from the side. I think that's what I want, so I want to put it like this. And then what I want to do, I'm going to lock the position of it, and then go and find an image of golden mine or something like that. Click on photos, and right here, or golden nuggets, golden stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to take this gold, drag it onto the frame. There you go. I think that is good. All right, let me unlock again, drag it a little bit like this, rotate it slightly like this. And I think that's pretty good. As weird as it might sound, but I think that's pretty good. Now let me lock it again. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the font that we have used here. So if I take this, now let me just unclick, click again, copy, come back here to the thumbnail, paste this. Ringside tails. And I would like to make it smaller like this and then drag it right here to put it down at the bottom so that people can see it. And then again, click or just simply paste. Now the title of the video is, I'm going to title it The Hidden Secrets of Sauron. So if I ungroup, now I can just select one element, remove this one, we can add it later. But let's say the unknown secrets of Sauron. I think that's a thumbnail that people will like. And I could just put it in 2 sentences, make it a little bit smaller like this, and place it right here. The unknown secret of Sauron. And then now I can duplicate one and put one right here and then change the color to black of that duplicated one and then position it backward and then zoom in while I still have the handle over it. No, I didn't change the color of it. Okay, so let me just do it black. This is the color. Okay. All right. Let me just go back. All right, this one should be black. I think it's black, but it has an effect. So I'm going to have none as the effect. And then just take this one and slide it right like this. Secret of Sauron. I think now it's making sense. All right, now let's just take this group. Now it's 1. We can cramp it up like this, but it doesn't work. Let's just leave it as it is. The unknown secret of Sauron, probably if we place it right on the top of the eyes. But apart from that, I think this is a pretty good YouTube thumbnail. Let's go ahead and download this as a YouTube thumbnail. YouTube thumbnail. And I think this should make up for a pretty good thumbnail. Let's download. Now let me go back to see if the Pictory video was actually generated with the captions. Okay, so right now, I'm going to go to the next lecture, and then I'm going to show you how to upload these videos onto YouTube and make sure they're optimized. And then we'll wrap up with the course. Hello there and welcome into this course. Now in this lecture, I'm going to show you just a little bit of what Pictory, or the good job that Pictory does when it comes to captioning the video, except for, as you can see right here, it has added a watermark that says video made with Pictory AI, but that's not a problem. Since if you want to really use Pictory for serious business, if you want to remove the watermark, then you have to go for the pro plan. There is no option, right? Now, it's not because I'm trying to get you to buy or anything. You can actually keep the video all the same without captions if you'd like. But it's up to you. If you want to add captions using this way, which is automatic and doesn't take much time from you, you can do it. As you can see here, the captions are added, and that's pretty beautiful. They go very well with the video, with the colors of the channel and all of that. So this is really good stuff. And as you can see, it also adds a layer of creativity to the video. And as you can see, it also adds a layer of creativity to the video. So right now, we're going to go ahead and add the first video onto YouTube, and then we'll basically upload the YouTube short. Now, the first video will not take us that much time. So we'll only have to click here on Import Video, and then you can basically start the process of creating your video. It's very simple. So if you click right here on Create, you click Upload Video, and then very simply, you can upload your video. So go ahead and upload it. Now the video is getting uploaded. Now we can go back to ChatGPT. And since ChatGPT knows what the video that we're going to create is about, we can just simply ask it, generate a title for the YouTube video, a description, and some tags to get it viral. Now, because it knows, because we are on the same chat in which we asked it to generate basically this particular script for the video. So it knows what video we're creating and what it's about. So it's going to give us a title. So the title is Unveiling the Dark Mystery, Sauron and the One Ring's Hidden Power. That's a good title. So I'm going to add it here, except for let's just remove the first brackets. And then we'll go back to ChatGPT to take the description, which is basically just a description. So, and also let's just go ahead and take the tags as well and place them in the description. And then we're going to ask it to generate some tags that we will place right at the bottom as well. Now here, let's just remove this part that says tags. And then we'll go back to ChatGPT and ask it, write tags in one line, and they should be separated with a comma, and they should be keywords that most people or most fans of the Lord of the Rings would use to search for our channel. Now, if I hit the enter button right now, it's going to proceed by basically writing the tags that we desire. And now here, I'm going to pause. I'm going to say, don't add a hashtag. Just write the tag purely without the hashtag. Okay, so I just mistakenly didn't write the hashtag correctly there, but right now, as you can see, it has basically understood what I said and it wrote everything. So I'm going to say, write more, and please, these hashtags are people's keywords, and the keywords should be separate. Right. So sometimes ChatGPT can be quite dumb, I would say, but you have to continuously prompt it to refine its answer. So here, as you can see, Lord of the Rings, Lothar, Middle-earth, Sauron, the Ring. All right, this is better, much better. Okay, and these keywords are really good because most people are actually looking for those things. So if I scroll down here, the YouTube thumbnail, let's upload the YouTube thumbnail by clicking here, gain access to use the feature, now close. I'm going to click upload. All right, so it seems that until I verify my channel, I would not be able to add the thumbnail, but it's not a problem. I can do that later. So make sure you verify your channels first by adding your phone numbers and stuff. That's what YouTube requires. So if I click show more here, they should be able to show me the tags. And I think if I just click on paste the tags right here, they should be fine. And select the video language if you want. I'm just going to select it at English, recording date, or video location. It's not really necessary stuff. I'm just going to go for video languages English because it's not any other language. So English, and then video has no location. We didn't, quite frankly, record it. And the comment moderation, just keep it on because you want people to interact with you. Now click next, next. And then here, you can basically publish this as public and basically click publish. And it will take some time for the video to be published, but it will eventually get published. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media channel you want to share it at so that you can grow some traffic, get some decent traffic. Try to get as much as 1,000 people to visit it in the first week. And you can do it by going to forums, by going to, there's all kinds of social channels out there on Facebook. There's a lot of Facebook groups for the Lord of the Rings fans. There's a lot of Reddit groups for the Lord of the Rings fans and Quora spaces. You can start to just go to forums and and groups and share your stuff there. And even think about running a YouTube ad for your video on a low budget so that you can get some traction. And I think if you have $100, from my experience actually as a digital marketing agency owner, $100 can get you 10,000 viewers, at least 10,000 viewers. At least that's the least it can get you. And so what we're going to do right now is going to post the second video accordingly, or the same way. So I'm gonna go back to the very first message that I sent to ChatGPT, and then right here I'm gonna go and edit this prompt, right? Because this is where we talked about the short, and I'm gonna say write a description, a title and description, and tags for the YouTube short. Make sure the tags are separated by a comma, and don't use hash tags. And then if I click save and submit, it's going to start the process. And then go back to your channel. Again, click create, upload a video, then you upload the short video just like we uploaded this one. So basically I'm just gonna go ahead and just add the video. So if I go Blue Wizard intro, it's supposed to be YouTube short. There it is. If you upload it, YouTube will know immediately it's a YouTube short. So basically, they will really not ask you for a thumbnail because they'll understand the format of the video is a YouTube short. As you can see, there it is. The suggested hashtags here, I can add all of these. I can even add mine, Sauron, Tolkien lore. Right. Actually, let me just remove one. Just keep those two. The mystery, Bilbo, right. D should be with a capital T. And then we can just scroll down. It's not made for kids. And then next. And then finally, next thing you know, you can just basically add this immediately. They will check against copyright. You can just click publish. And now we have both videos published. And so we have basically done everything. So now you don't have anything else left to do. Go ahead and make sure you create some more videos. You can also share your feedback with us and let us know if you have created the channel. Obviously, this is the purpose of this course, is to get you to create a channel that you can later on, after working on it, maybe for 1, 2, 3 months working hard on it, you can monetize it. And trust me, these channels really do get some traffic. It will take time for you to build these channels up, but the whole concept of YouTube automation is a very possible business model, and you can absolutely do it if you're committed. And if you at least publish 1 or 2 videos a day, quality videos that are done, you do your research really, really well. You invest your time in going into social channels and interacting with people, getting people into your link to watch your video, even go as far as investing into some ads on low budget. Like I said, with $100, you can easily get 10,000 viewers on YouTube. You can easily do that, and it doesn't take more than 1 hour to set the ad. Now, some people might do it for $200, but those people, they just don't know how to target the right way. But according to my experience, I can definitely, and I did it as many times as you can imagine. I did it many times that I'm confident that with $100, you can get 10,000 views for a video on YouTube. So that's that. I'll part from you. This is the end of this particular course, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. Ask all your questions in the Q&A section. You can also message us directly, and we're wishing you the best at Passive Income Gen Z and signing out. Hello there, and welcome back into the final lecture of the course, in which I would like to wrap up with you and congratulate you if you've made it here so far. What this actually shows about you is a real sheer will to do what you set out to do. So let me tell you something. A lot of people buy courses. A lot of people enroll in courses, but not all of them get to see the end of it. And let me tell you something. When you start something and finish it, that's really an admirable skill that you've learned, and you should really praise yourself for it and keep repeating it, okay? It's by repetition that you can get success. I don't want to sound like a guru of self-help or something like that, but I'm really trying to tell you that you've done an amazing thing. But now, how you go and sum this up is what's going to change everything. You basically crown every effort that you've made so far in this course by going out there and creating your YouTube channel, making me proud, making us proud at Passive Income Gen Z. When we see that you are out there, you've created your channel and you've set it up, and we will be happy if you share your work with us. That actually makes us happy. When we see other people successful, it really makes us happy. When we see that the content that we create actually changes lives and changes people, makes them do something. And trust me, this niche is really amazing. And it will be very good for you if you give it the consistency. And guess what? You can actually do this as a part-time thing. You don't have to do this 24 hours. You can do it 1 hour a day, create 2 videos or 1 video a day and just publish it there and market it. Have fun with it. And the good thing is that there is a lot of fans for such channels, for such topics. There's an unlimited amount of things that you can do. And I trust you to take the knowledge here, go ahead and apply it at scale. Passive Income Gen Z wishing you the best and signing out.